Hey everyone, the Talking Dads podcast is brought to you by Little Scholars Early Learning Center. Whether your family needs infant care, a preschool program, or before and after school care, Little Scholars' highly rated Step Up to Quality programs provide quality early childhood education at an affordable price. Visit www.littlescholars.net to get in contact with an enrollment specialist and schedule a tour of any of their 5 Lake County campuses. Here's the deal. Talking Dads fans are getting a little bonus. Mention that you heard about them through our podcast, and when you tour, and you'll receive $25 off of your registration fee. Again, that's Little Scholars Early Learning Center, where children learn, play, and grow together. We are also brought to you by Pub Fredo Gastropub. Pub Fredo was voted Best Gastropub in Cleveland in 2019 by Cleveland Magazine Silver Spoon Awards. We love Pub Fredo. Their menu is chef-inspired, always pushing the limits of traditional pub fare. The other night I had a burger, I believe it was called the Pub Burger. It was incredible. Cooked perfectly. It was amazing. And you won't have a problem pairing your favorite item on the menu with their great selection of local craft beers, crafted cocktails, and of course, an amazing bourbon and whiskey selection. I went with the Bullet 10-year with my Pub Burger. All of this in a cozy, fun, come-as-you-are atmosphere. You can check them out at pubfredo.com and on Facebook and Instagram at PubFredo Gastropub. Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Talking Dads. This week, we have Nick Fatica, who we've been friends with for forever. Steve and Nick literally have known each other since they were born. And Nick is going to be a dad here pretty soon. Just found out the day of the recording of the podcast that he's going to have a baby boy. So it was just tons of fun just talking to him and reminiscing and trying not to scare him too bad. Enjoy the podcast, have so much fun, be safe, and we love you.
In a world where moms continue to dominate parenting authority and a father's role is minimized in society, 2 dads take on the toughest parenting topics on a weekly basis, all while drinking bourbon. They are the Talking Dads.
What's up, dude?
What's up, buddy?
What's going on? How are
Happy
you?
gender I know what I'm having day.
It's a big day.
I know what I'm having today.
It's a big day for a new dad.
Hell yes, it is.
It was pretty crazy today. I found out what kind of baby I'm having.
And so for the first time, live,
Yes.
National television.
national television,
Watched by millions
and millions
of fans.
of fans.
What are you having?
What are you having?
It is a drum roll.
Oh,
It's a boy. I'm having a boy.
hey! Congratulations, man. Congratulations. I know you did say, I think it was last week I talked to you. You're like, I don't even know what I would do with a girl. You're like, I know with a boy I'm familiar.
Yeah.
You know, I know, yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're all very familiar with the woman, right? I mean, come on, right, fellas? Am I right?
Oh, yeah.
But clean. I mean, it's scary, no matter what. But
Crevices. How would I clean that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ian figured it out.
I'm already worried about wiping a butt. I don't.
Oh man,
Yeah, I mean,
you do that for a while.
I mean, that's the thing I mean, at least for me, and I know Steve's talked about it before. The cliche answer when you're going to find out for your first kid is it doesn't matter and blah blah blah, and it's kind of true because there's so much going on in your head,
For sure.
right?
I worry about everybody that is going for their 20 week,
yeah,
just because of
100%.
what happened for us.
Oh, geez.
So whenever I think, I'm like, I pray for anybody that I know that's going
Right.
for that appointment because I'm like, I just hope that everything goes smoothly.
Yeah.
And they find out everything's perfectly fine.
Right.
Because as we know, and we've talked about 100 times, a lot can go wrong. And that's where you find out, you know? So that's awesome. Everything was good.
5 fingers on each hand.
Oh, well, that's
5 toes on each hand.
Whoa. Okay. So on each hand, that's,
Wow. They checked
toes.
the ventricles on the heart. There was 4 of them, I guess.
all right. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And everything's
Flowing.
functioning.
Everything was functioning.
And they're, everything's good. That's awesome. It's pretty amazing when they're sitting there pointing out everything too. It's like,
Yeah.
here's this, and you're looking at this blob, and you're like, what?
What?
They're like, oh, that's his arm, and that's his hands, and there's his heart, and it's his spleen, and I mean, I don't even know what the hell. This is everything.
I just
You're like,
remember
what?
looking at the technician being like, maybe I shouldn't have had that beer earlier. Like, I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Like, what is that?
I go to where I go, the hand that he keeps putting up to its face, is that the right one? I want to make sure he's right-handed.
No, you want to be lefty,
Yeah, you
bro.
want to be a lefty.
How am I going to teach a lefty how to
They
throw,
figure it out, man.
shoot a gun,
Hey,
bow,
Just the opposite.
cast? I don't know.
all that.
Can't do it.
Just hope they're
right-handed.
all right. Well, hey, you know what? You figure it out.
Hey, before we go any further,
There's
hit
a
the button.
Oh, the button.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
No, that's fantastic, though, dude. I mean, again,
congratulations.
I think there's, I mean, tell us. Well, first of all, when we start the show every time, we ask our guests to give us their dad profile. And so basically that's who you are, whatever you want to tell us about yourself. And then typically tell us about, your kids or whatever. In your case, we've already spilled the beans that your baby boy,
Your first child. Fly.
will be born soon. So, give us your dad-to-be profile. You're a dad, so give us your dad profile.
I guess I'm a dad, yeah.
Yeah.
My dad profile, let's see. Nick Fatica.
What up?
What's going on? That's me. Yeah. Let's see. I am a police officer. I've been a police officer for 12 years.
Damn.
I've been with my wife for 5 years, married 2 years, coming up.
Okay.
August will be 2 years. Like to travel. I don't know how much that's going to happen anymore.
Yeah. I'll get there again.
Eventually.
It's just different. We can go into it.
Yeah.
You got him?
I hope so.
Nice.
I like the outdoors. Long walks on the beach.
Nice.
Nice. This is getting romantic.
Yeah, I'm kind of into it.
With clothes on, obviously. State laws.
Depending on the beach,
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
whether it be private or not.
Very cool. No, that's good. So we've obviously known you forever.
Yeah.
You guys grew up.
I
neighbors.
think he was one of the first people I met. Was probably Nick. We were like one when we met. So
That's
yeah,
pretty awesome.
known each other a long time.
Yeah, Steve was a little older than me.
Yeah, just a little bit. I'm old.
Did you
old
meet
man.
me before I met you?
Possibly.
That's a good question.
I probably met you.
Well,
We both met at the same time.
Yeah.
But I probably have more
recollection.
of what happened.
Oh, yeah.
This guy and I have thousands of stories of the neighborhood we
yeah.
grew up in.
Oh, yeah,
Our
the old
influences.
PRC.
Oh yeah, the PRC, man. That.
Wyatt's greenhouse.
Oh my God, man. I will tell one real quick,
Yeah.
and I'll never forget this one because it's pretty funny. I remember the one time there's a field by our house,
Yeah.
behind
behind-
Nick's,
yeah.
where Fatica lives.
Are we going here with the dogs with Chris?
No, this one would be the fire that we
Oh,
built.
yeah.
So we I actually have two for this.
Shocker.
Yeah,
A fire story
Pyros.
with Steve.
So it started with the two of us. All right.
Yeah.
So
I know.
we started a fire in this field, which is mainly just dry grass.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll never forget, Fatica's mom came out of nowhere, found us making this fire, and Nick doesn't waste a second, instantly pants around his ankles, peeing on the fire. And then the loads for the cigarettes.
Oh, yeah.
I think we put it in your dad's cigarette. Mm-hmm. His dad, I'm surprised his dad never killed us. Because the shit we
Gasoline
did.
and lawnmower.
Oh, yeah, special fuel for the lawnmower, which was what?
H2O.
H2O and soap. Brand new lawnmower. His dad just got this brand new rider. It's like a Toro or something. And like Nick and I go out there and
We're just trying to help.
we're just kids, you know?
Gas
We're like, this thing's
prices
going to
are
go
expensive.
fast. Yeah, we're just trying to help. But this thing's going to go fast. Dad's going to cut the lawn real quick. So,
Yeah.
I mean, endless stories like that from
Baby powder in the
the vents. My dad still tells that story. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Waited till the heat turned on. So we might have messed with the thermostat. Put the baby powder in the vent, and then when the vent came, like the
Yeah.
heat came on, just blew up in the air, and then we had a fan sitting up on his dresser, and it would blow the
terrible.
bleach on the
Like some Bam Margera shit.
bleach on the record player, and it spun around, and his carpet in his room was blue. Yeah, it turned out to be pink swirls all over the carpet. I'm telling you, man, all this stuff that surprised we're alive today.
Terrible.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so good times. We grew up doing dumb shit. So that's the fun stuff with the kids that we're having. Hopefully, they're nothing like us.
Well, I could be a lucky charm. Like every time you broke a bone, I was pretty much there.
Yeah, all my injuries, Nick was there.
And
broken bones, bone sticking out of my knee, all kinds of stuff, man.
Good times.
Yeah, so looking forward to having kids to do dumb shit like that.
I couldn't imagine if that happened to my kid, just bone poking out of their leg. What do you do?
My mom was pretty calm about it.
I ran home.
Yeah, I know you
I
did.
literally left you hanging. Like, peace out, dude. I don't know what's going on. Did I
There's a
just kill
bone
this
sticking
guy?
out of my
I
leg.
was studying.
Yeah, I wasn't here for this. Yeah, and to this day, I still the it's like a stake that you put in the ground for.
Did you say steak?
Did you say steak? No, I said mistake. That you twist into the ground.
Yeah.
Every time I see one of those, flashbacks, man. It was the dumbest design. The thing was flush to the ground. It's flat like this, and then it has a pin sticking out of it,
yeah.
and it's green.
Yeah. Not good.
Kids are running. Yeah, of course. I have in that enormous backyard, and I land right on that. Like, what's the odds? That's me.
Probably pretty good.
Awesome. So, anywho, okay, I have something real quick since we're on the outdoorsman talk because he said he's an outdoorsman.
Yeah.
Hypothetical for you.
Ooh, I love a hypothetical.
If you were on Naked and Afraid,
Oh, I love that show.
what would you bring? Because you're allowed to bring one thing, right?
Yeah.
You got to bring a knife.
Okay. A knife's solid.
But then you need a fire starter, too. Hopefully the chick brings a fire starter.
Could you bring a knife? You know those ones that come with a tool, like a built-in tools in it? Like you open it up on the bottom, there's a flint rock in there.
The rules are pretty loose because I saw one time the dude brought a bow, and with his bow, he was given, I think, 5 or 6 arrows. So it's like more than one thing. So then he had these arrows with broadheads on them.
You could use that for a lot of different shit.
Yeah.
That's
So I
true.
thought that was pretty smart.
That's pretty smart.
But I mean,
There's like a new show on now with Bear Grylls.
It's called, is it Alone? Or something like that? There's something on Netflix, isn't there called Alone?
It's called,
They're like British.
Ish.
oh crap.
Sounds pretty
I
cool.
can't remember. Well, he has the one on there that's like interactive. You seen that one?
No, this one they hide money on the island and then like people are
Whoa,
finding
it's
it.
plunder.
I gotta watch that. My kid likes the one. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's interactive. So he gets into a situation and he tells you, I could either paraglide off this mountain or I can rappel down it.
You get to pick it?
And you have to pick. And
Is it Bear Grylls?
Yeah, it's Bear Grylls, and so you go through the whole thing, and there's a mission each time. You know, the one that I remember off the top of my head is they're trying to find this. There was a dog that got away, and so they were looking to rescue this dog, and it was like snow and everything like that, and they found the dog, but you have to go through, and if you pick the wrong thing, he has to call for extract.
Okay.
So then you have to start over.
Oh, you start
You
over
can
again.
Go back to the last decision you made or whatever.
Oh,
but
okay,
they,
okay.
It's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
What's that on?
It's on Netflix. It's called. I can't remember what it's
Huh,
called.
I'll have to look that
it's
up. That'd
pretty
be
cool
interesting.
though. It
If
gives
any
like
of our callers know, can just give us a call.
Just call. Just ring in.
Call in. Line one's open.
This isn't the radio.
Oh, okay.
Line 1 is actually not open, Nick.
Doing a podcast.
I mean, line 1 not open.
No,
So
the lines are
shut
jammed.
that. Lines are jammed, guys. I can't.
Damn it.
I don't even know which one to take. 1 or 60. I don't
Hit the
know.
green button, I think.
Always.
Yeah, no, those shows are really cool. I would probably go with a knife.
Yeah, you can.
I think it's just like
I mean, in a real situation, I mean, you can use a knife for so many things, including you could figure out how to start a fire with it. You can at least get enough kindling and stuff like that down and maybe make some sparks with a nice piece of rock.
I've never tried
Really?
like to start a fire from like.
Really?
I don't think I ever have.
You used a flare that one time to start a fire.
Okay, well that's another story from
gonna
our
say-
childhood.
I was going to say, I know you've started plenty of fires.
I have flares off the bus. We tried to put it out in the creek and it just wouldn't go out.
Would not go out.
Jammed it in the mud. It worked. And then my principal came to my house to pick up the flares.
Really?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Can you imagine if you did that thing now?
I'd probably be expelled.
National news.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody. I mean, the guy pulled me in the office. Arco was on the bus too when I took him,
Shocker.
and this other
Shout
kid on
out
the bus
to
told
EA.
on me. This kid on their bus told on me.
Who was it?
I can't say
Call
his
him
name.
out.
No.
You don't want to?
I mean, I probably could. I'm not going to. Just in case the listener.
Call out the narc.
Narc. So yeah, that was, oh god. Okay, so yeah, knife's probably a pretty solid move.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be knife or maybe rope.
You and your rope.
Rope.
Fucking rope.
Isn't that right, Rambo? Their knife.
Yeah.
There you go. So, I mean, okay, naked and afraid, because we were talking about this at work, and I'm like,
Oh, right.
that's why I thought about it.
I couldn't do it. Couldn't be naked.
I
I love being naked, but bugs and shit. Sunburn.
Just imagine getting in the introduction alone is got to be terrible. Are you talking yourself up beforehand? Like, come on, buddy, just
Yeah, how
First-
are they
first
not
impressions
having
here.
Sex?
I
don't know.
It's unbelievable about the show, though, because none of those are very awkward when they meet each other. They're like, oh, hey, how's it going?
yeah. It's like,
Well, the one was awkward. The dude like kept trying to hug her.
oh, geez, right off the bat, he's like, hey, well, we're the cleanest we're gonna be right now. Let's
That's
get into
exactly
this.
what he said.
Did he? Why don't we just walk over here real quick and just get this out of the way? There's all kinds of sexual tension already. Let's just go ahead and do it.
You need a little protein. I have a little protein.
There's probably so many just spoofs of that on certain
yeah.
websites.
Oh yeah.
But I just don't understand like how miserable. I mean, I just don't understand why you got to be naked. To use clothing for,
Because that's the difference between every other survival show, maybe.
I guess.
And that's how they've continued
That's
to do
the
it
name
for
of the show.
so-
Yeah, I guess I know.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It doesn't have to be, but by doing it, people watch it, I guess.
Yeah.
How do we get the unedited version?
You probably don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm dying to see it.
Nick
Behind
walks up.
the scenes.
Nick, the people usually like look down first when they get up to him. Nick's just looking straight down at the ground, feet. It's like, Cam, not doing it.
No.
Not for me.
Next.
Who's sir?
Sir, this isn't a casting call.
No. Gosh, yeah. So I don't know. It's something I thought about for you as an outdoors when I was wondering if
Knife, definitely not.
knife. Okay,
Yeah, knife's a good one. I mean,
pretty solid choice.
Maybe
yeah.
like a Kukrit or something.
a who?
Yeah. You ever watch that knife show?
Those,
It's got the curve in the blade.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. I know what you're talking about now.
they're talking about like one of those shows where like the guy has like the knife, like he's
Freddy Krueger?
this knife is battle ready. He's like, you got the samurai swords trying to sell them on like
Yeah.
what are
But
those
wait.
shows? But wait, it comes with this knife.
This knife.
Clearly-
So speaking of naked and afraid,
Oh,
you're gonna have a
segue.
baby, dude.
I'm going to be afraid when I see that thing
Yes,
naked.
you will be. What is going on in your head as of this moment? You now know
Expectations.
that you're having a boy.
First step out of the way.
Yeah. What are your tell us your thoughts? Tell us your fears. What can we do to calm you?
So I feel like, this was week 18.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm behind because this was the first appointment I could go to with Corona.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. Because
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. So you haven't been able to go to anything.
No, nothing. I
That's
don't even know what
tough,
our
man.
doctor
That
looks
is
like.
tough.
Where do you guys go?
Cleveland Clinic.
Okay.
So I think we're delivering at Hillcrest.
Okay.
That's where we went.
But yeah,
We had a
like
good experience.
this was like my
nothing
first
but-
experience with it.
Yeah, that's
And I'm
pretty
like,
crazy to think. Like,
18 weeks in, it's like, oh hey,
yeah, that'd be a killer, man. Not to be able to
Yeah,
go
that
with
would
it.
suck.
it's
I
pretty
didn't even
crazy.
think about that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So this was the first appointment you got to go to.
Yeah, I think
Wow.
this was the third ultrasound.
Yeah.
And this just became something that you can do now. Like, they're allowing it? Because I mean, I feel like
It just
Just up-
started this week. They said for
just this
the
week.
Okay.
for the husband to be able to go.
Wow.
yeah, good for you, man.
That's kind of crazy.
It is very crazy.
Well, so the people that I've seen people on Facebook that have recently had kids, and their husbands are allowed in there. But like, think about like when you would have family come.
Yeah.
You had the people in the waiting room, and they would come in and come and see you.
Right.
None of that. And then I also heard like if you say like for me, for example, I lived right by the hospital, so like I'm gonna go run home real quick and go pick this up. If I left, I think you were not allowed to come. The dad was not allowed to come back,
Oh.
which is weird.
Yeah.
I guess it's dependent on the hospital.
Right. Yeah. I mean, no one knows. There's no protocol for any of this. So
Yeah, I mean it's just insane.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. So, well, that's cool that you got to go for this. I mean, because the
It's a big
ultrasound's
one.
cool. It's the big one.
Yeah, they did 4D. There was 4D.
Oh, you saw the 4D pictures
It
or
was
whatever.
weird. It looked like an
No, we
alien.
didn't do that. I don't think we got to see that.
Back in the 70s, they didn't.
70s.
Hey man, we're only like a year older. Ian's actually
Yeah,
a month younger. No, he's a month younger than.
Yeah, but your kids will be old enough to babysit for me by the time this thing comes.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I can. We could drop them off at your house.
Yeah.
See what. Just
Good
set up some
luck.
cameras. Yeah, good luck. That would be something to watch. Sam tried to carry Ben out of his room the other day because he wanted to wake him up from his nap because he wanted to go play. It was a nightmare.
Yeah, I bet.
Just the worst screaming going on.
Sam's pretty strong, though. He
He
can probably
is.
do it.
He picked him up. Ben's 30 pounds already. Oof. Big boy. So
it's been crazy. Like Jess, she's an animal, like normally, and she's like all tired now, and I just call her lazy just to fuck with her.
I was going to give you some advice to not do that.
But the other day,
I almost just spit my water.
That would have been fantastic.
the other day I'm at work, and she calls me. She's like, "Hey, am I allowed to cut the grass, you think?" I'm like, "What are you doing cutting the grass?" She's like, I'm bored.
Like, absolutely you can cut the grass. Don't fuck up my lines, though.
She hasn't mowed the yard since we've been there, and all of a sudden she wants to cut the grass.
Just bored.
Yeah, just tell her no so she doesn't mess up the lines.
Oh, F that, man.
Yeah, it's cut it again this week.
Yeah, but the lines, though. Yeah, but those lines, though, man.
My neighbor's like, "Why is your pregnant wife cutting the grass? I would have cut it for you if you were that desperate."
You're like, don't worry, man. I'm not going to say no to her, okay?
Right. Yeah. That's literally such a safe bet is to just not say no.
Literally. If
I
she
mean,
if she
unless
wants to
it's,
do
like,
something, then
Super
okay.
dangerous.
But so far, that's only been the craziness. Nothing else.
It's incredible. I mean, I think that I remember just seeing Chelsea so tired.
Mm-hmm.
And
Emotional.
yeah, I mean, it's just like, growing a human, so it's understandable.
I
But like,
guess, yeah.
it's weird as dudes, like you try and understand, but you can't.
No.
I've gone through it twice, and I still don't. You know what I mean? Like, because there was days where she would come home and she would be energetic and everything, and I'd be like, "Oh, let's go do this or that," and she's like, I'm done."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, that makes sense."
Oh, everything's completely changed in your body. Your organs have been moved around, and you have a child inside of you. Ugh, I can't even handle a freaking upset stomach for 15 minutes.
I know, right?
Dude, cravings. Do you have any weird cravings yet? Not yet.
No,
I wonder if that's going to get to that point. I may have said it before. I'll never forget this dude at Sheetz one night. I was probably in my early 20s. This dude was checking out right in front of me. I saw him like going through everything, picking up every random thing you could think of. I mean, he had hard-boiled eggs. The guy had candy, chips, every type of randomness that you could get from Sheetz, and this guy's just holding it. Gets to the register, drops it, and I just look at him. I go, "Pregnant wife?" He's like, "Oh yeah, man." Dude was just so tired. It was like 11:30 at night.
I'm dying for those late night ice cream runs, but no, nothing.
Nothing.
It's crazy.
The only crazy one that I had that was like a late night run was wasn't even that late. It was probably like 10. It was Red Robin. Mm-hmm. It was like Liz was crying over a commercial. It was like a dog food commercial, yeah. And then she looks over at me. She's crying. I'm like, "Are you serious?" She goes, I want a cheeseburger. I'm like, she's like, "From Red Robin." I'm like, "All right, I'll go."
You're like, "It's so close. Thank you."
Dude, clutch for me, man.
Yeah.
Grocery store, every restaurant,
that's amazing.
like just.
I don't know if you know Chelsea's pescatarian. I don't know. She doesn't eat meat. And for both kids, but especially for Sloan, all she craved was Wendy's spicy chicken sandwiches.
Ooh,
wow,
it's fantastic.
How much weight did you put on?
No.
It's sympathy weight, man. All right, the sympathy weight doesn't come off easy.
Oh yeah, just crushing double cheese or.
I guess I'll get a Baconator tonight.
Yeah, make
it a double. God,
they're just gone by the time I get home.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't get anything? No, it's just for you, babe.
Yeah. Just make sure you crush everything before you get home. I'll be honest with you, man. It wasn't when she was pregnant, but I'm just gonna say like I was a closet eater sometimes, where I was like, okay, I'm gonna go stop and get like fast food. I remember sitting like in Lowe's parking lot, just crushing like a quarter pounder meal before I got home, or just sitting in the driveway crushing food, and I walk in like, "Hey, what's going on?" Just so sweaty.
Wow. Just meat sweats.
I stopped doing that, by the way. Okay.
Good for you.
I like my food. I'm a foodie, man.
So cravings are to come, I guess.
Maybe not. I don't know. Everybody's different.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is that everyone is different. But if I remember correctly, the cravings didn't really start until later.
Yeah, it might be later. Then smells that just make
smells
irk them.
Probably already.
She might maybe.
No smells. She puked a lot though.
Yeah.
We followed all those wives' tales and we're like,
"Oh, it's a boy." Yeah, like when they're like, "Oh, it's a girl if it's this, or it's a boy if it's that."
We're
if you carry a different
some fucking gold ring over
her
her
I
stomach.
remember doing that.
Oh man, yeah.
Heart rate. No, they sent us home with a heart rate thing because of Corona.
Oh.
Because she had to do a Zoom. I don't know what do you call it? Appointment. Yeah. Zoom appointment. Yeah. I had to do like the heart rate while on the appointment.
Well, that's kind of cool.
That was weird.
Yeah, that's weird. But
At least you were there for the appointment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. Yeah, I didn't really think about that. Well, thankfully things are
Getting back
to normal. So, you don't have to worry too much about the rest of the.
Yeah, but they say the fall, It's,
Yeah.
I know.
Now I'm thinking about, November it's going to come back. Well, that's when the babies do.
That's true.
It's so hard to say, man.
Yeah, we
I just
don't know.
So crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what Ohio is like right now, but I know some places are like Texas, Florida, places like that are kind of blown up right now.
I have not been paying attention to it at all.
The reason I know is because I was
can't
flipping
even
through
do it.
something the other day and it popped up like these 15 girls went out for a girls' night or something like that, and all of them got it.
Oh.
It was in Florida, I think. I don't know if that was a real story. It was on Facebook, and that's the only place I get my news from.
Right.
So,
all right. So, baby's gonna come in November.
November. Okay.
What?
Yes, I'll be hunting before and after. Yes.
Yeah.
We'll clarify that.
We'll say before, possibly after. We'll see how your sleep's going.
Well, if I'm going to be off for 4 weeks, I think I took 4 weeks
You're
off.
gonna take 4 weeks off.
There you go.
There's no way I can stay home for 4 weeks straight.
How much time did you take off?
4 days.
I was gonna say
4 days.
Yeah,
Yeah, but to be fair, my schedule changes so much that I only took 4 days off, but there was several other days where I ended up staying home for a while, going in for a couple hours in the afternoon, whatever it was.
yeah.
And then a lot of times I work from home, so I was able to still work a little bit.
Yeah. I think mine was tough part for me was Sam was born in January, like the first week of January. So it was like right after it was the 3rd. So it's like right back to work. And I'm like, son of a bitch. Now I gotta like here goes the vacation time right out like first week. But
so on one hand you got to enjoy the holidays, like
kind of hoping that he would be there around like before January. I was hoping December. Did you get him for real? I wish I would have got that on camera.
Wow. How'd that taste?
protein.
What was that? Is that a Major Pain? Does he catch it and go? Or was that a different movie?
A different movie, but I can't remember what it is. I don't
Catches
think
it and
it's
goes-
Major Pain.
Hits it with his hand. Yeah, that's what Ian pretty much just did. For anybody that didn't see that on camera.
No big deal.
So November. So is it beginning of November? Is it around?
Our due date's the 19th, but they say we're running a week early.
Okay.
Okay.
I hope everything goes smoothly.
Yeah, man. So you got nursery set up?
No.
You got a crib?
We got a crib from Steve's mom. Thanks, Carol.
Yep.
There you go.
Oh, that was another thing. She didn't like the brown, so we decided to paint it.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't go with brown either. We had all the. I mean, it was a nice looking. That's a nice crib. It's like a cherry.
Yeah.
That was really nice. Did you paint it white?
Painted it white. She put like 6 coats on the thing.
Well, yeah.
Insane. White chalk paint.
Okay.
From Home Depot, I think.
Oh,
Home Depot.
Okay. Shout out there.
yeah, they're a sponsor. So
Yeah, that was one of our many. So thank you, because we were gonna have to do a plug here eventually. So we took care of that one. Check that one off the list. That's yeah, man.
all right, so you got a crib.
Nursery.
That's good.
Is the nursery set up though, or is it kind of in the
So
process?
we're turning our office into the nursery. I don't know. We were just gonna leave it gray like it was, but today, after finding out it's a boy, she's all like, I think we got to get the nursery going. I'm like, I thought you said we weren't doing anything with this. We're just going to put the baby in a room.
I was gonna say the secret that I feel like no one talks about for whatever reason, because I remember no one told me.
Yeah.
I was all stressed out about the nursery. I mean, we had that thing dialed in, looked like fucking Pottery Barn, and we didn't use the nursery for like 3 months.
That's very true. You actually have some time.
You have so much time.
But although it is kind of nice to get it out of the way,
it is.
because you were there to help me with
We did Ben's room, yeah.
because we had to do we did a lot. Because
Well-
I redid the floor, and then we had to do all the woodwork, the trim, and everything.
yeah.
And so Ian came to help me with that. But he was in the hospital at the time, I
Yeah.
think, because I was still working on it.
Yeah,
when
that
he was in
was,
the hospital.
if I remember correctly, that was a Liz calling Chelsea saying that Steve's stressed out about getting it done.
Yeah. So you guys came
And-
over to hang out.
But he just needs to like be away from the hospital for a day,
Yeah.
or for half a day, whatever it was, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm out. Let's go.
Yeah, we did. We knocked it out,
Yeah,
man.
that was good.
I mean, thing turned out great. And like Ian said, though, we didn't use it, especially with Ben. Like we had him next to
Yeah.
our bed. I mean, when we got him home without the monitors and everything,
Oh yeah.
like I could hear those monitors in my sleep, and I'm like, you're gonna send us home without like anything? Like you're just
Yeah.
like, go ahead, you're good. I'm like, is his heart okay? Like what's that thing they put on their foot? Is that the owl?
Oh, the owlet.
Owlet?
Or
Is that a PJ
like
Mask?
Oh yeah, that is.
No, but I
PJ
think it is an
Masks.
owlet though. Actually, now that I think about it, it's an owl something.
Yeah, it's
it might
owl
be
something.
But this like this thing they put on their foot, and it like
It's basically a sock.
it's basically a sock, and it like monitors their heart rate,
Heart rate and
This is a real thing.
oxygen, maybe. Yeah, it's real.
Yeah,
And then like
and it'll send like all the signals to your phone.
Wow.
so it's like part of the monitor, and like so like if there's anything that goes wrong, it alerts you, and you can go in there. And we didn't get one, but
I'm
we
a
thought about
diva. I sleep right through that.
it. Oh man,
You think that, man? So I'm the type of person that I'll sleep like 4.5 to 6.5 hours is my sweet spot. Somewhere in there, I'm good. I can function the rest of the day. Doesn't matter if I've been drinking all night or whatever. It just doesn't matter. But when I sleep for those 4.5 to 6.5 hours, I'm out.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Brought my kid home. I didn't sleep a fucking wink. Every single noise was,
Yep.
babe, I got it.
Oh, there he goes.
I got it.
It went down.
Fucking calves.
They're getting in the way, man. It's the heel. There you go. He's back. That's true though, man. I mean,
Yeah, because that was my big fear. It's like I'm a hard sleeper. Like I don't. I don't know.
I think maybe with the second one, I think I got a little more
Second
loose with
one I
it.
did.
I think there was a lot of nights that Liz was just like, we would actually both probably be awake, but pretend like we were sleeping.
Yep.
It was like
Oh,
the
yeah.
first one that just got fed up and got up and like that was like you win.
Yeah.
Like I'm like,
Right.
she's good.
See who can outlast two.
Larry.
Yeah, that is Larry. But yeah, no, like I think that you'll find the. I don't want to call it anxiety. It's more just awareness because you're gonna. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna go through this thing where she gives birth, and you're completely helpless, and like the nurse is gonna say, "Here, be a big helper and hold this leg," and you're like, "Okay, cool," like, and you'll do it, and it's a really cool experience, and then they're going to take the baby and clean him up and do all this kind of tests and things like that. And then you're going to get to hang out with the baby and the baby's just going to cry. I'm not trying to like, I'm just giving it to you real.
Yeah.
And then, so that first night you're going to sleep in the hospital and neither of you are really going to sleep. Chelsea says that I slept, but I don't know.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I think I did, but it was like
Right,
minutes
like
at
you're
a time.
sleeping for minutes at a time, right? Yeah. So then you're just gonna drive home, right? Like from the hospital on zero sleep, and you're crazy, and you're gonna hit the freeway, and you're gonna go 32 miles an hour in the freeway, and you're gonna like yell at people that are speeding, even though they're going like 65, because you got a baby in the car.
Slow down.
You'd be so
Child.
anxious, like
The
not
baby's gonna be in the truck.
in the truck, whatever. But yeah, then you're gonna go home and you're gonna go, oh shit, what do we do now? Because
That's
they told us what to do every 10 minutes. You know, you had like a little log that you kept.
It's going from them helping you out along the way. Like they'll even say like
helping, like
they're like, but they'll be like, you have 20 different people coming in. They'll be like, hey, we're gonna take. You want us to take them for a little bit?
yeah.
Like, yeah, I'll take
And
another.
we
I'll take a half hour. Oh, ours didn't last long at all. I was like,
Yeah.
yes, I'm gonna sleep for a little bit now. Didn't happen. So you have these people helping you constantly, and then all of a sudden they're like, see ya, and you're like, well, shit.
Yeah.
And then you get them into your house and you put the seat down and you're like, the fuck do we do now? Like you should take them out or and you guys have a dog too,
Yeah.
right? So I'll say this about the dog. We sent one of Sam's blankets home
We did that too.
just for Teddy to have it to smell it. So as soon as we got in the door, Teddy walked right up to the seat, sniffed him, and he just didn't really give a shit. He was concerned about him, like, what is this?
Yeah, it's good to do it both ways. Like,
Oh, and
take
to have the
something
dog.
the dog's been on and like
Yeah, do the
give
both
it to
ways. Yeah,
give it to your son, and then like the baby's hat or something like that. Bring it home before you guys get home, and give it to the dog to sniff. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're gonna get home and you're gonna do all this stuff, and you're gonna be like, okay, well, now what? Because he's just sleeping, and it's gonna be like 6 o'clock in the.
That's the worst part too, because
evening.
they're sleeping whenever they feel like sleeping.
Right, and then you're gonna be like, oh well, maybe I'll go to bed now, and then baby's gonna be up, and it's gonna be hungry, and he's gonna want this and want that, and you're not really gonna know what's gonna calm him down, especially for the first few nights. And,
Jeez.
and again, I'm not trying to like terrify you. I'm just gonna say like being prepared for it. So yes, November, prime hunting season, everything else.
Prime,
Plan on
not doing what you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, and that's not to say that you can't. I think when Gibbs was born, so he was born in June. That year, I went hunting once or twice.
Oh, yeah, once or twice. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times have you hunted this year?
And 0 in the last 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
Yeah. But I got to be honest, even when I went in my tree stand, I just went to sleep. I was like, oh, sleep.
Yeah, quiet.
Peace, quiet, But you'll figure out the best thing that you and Jess can do is just like come up with a routine, because I mean, I know Steve and I have both talked about it. The first one, I did not have a routine. Like, excuse me, we would be up at the same time. We would, like Steve said, like we'd both hear the baby crying, and then we'd be like, all right, well, whose turn is it? And then, this and that. If you come up with a routine like what we did, especially with Sloan, which worked out so incredibly well, is I would take till 2 a.m. because I knew that I could sleep from 2 to 6, 6:30, and be fine. I could function the next day.
And you know that your wife's going to be able to sleep. Like,
Right.
you set her to bed, like, Liz went to bed at like 8, and she would sleep till 1 or 2. And then, but not even say like she's not sleeping at that time. She could still sleep after that, but if the baby wakes up, then she's
then
up.
it's her turn.
Yeah. But that doesn't come right away, though.
No. The first
Because obviously you're
couple
going to
months
be
you can't.
breastfeeding and all that. So, but like once you get on that routine, though, and I think, so Ian said he didn't do that right off the rip, but I think that we did with Sam, and I don't know if that's because maybe you were saying like, this is what you should do or something. I don't even know. I kind of took a lot of tips from what Ian was doing because I had 7 months of him going through having the baby, which is nice because you have a lot of people that you could get ideas from.
Yeah.
Not saying that every kid is the same. Every child is completely different.
What do we usually say?
What works for you? Do whatever works for you, because that's the most important thing. And
you could read every book, you could listen to every podcast, you could watch every YouTube video, and the reality is that your kid's going to be different than every single one of those kids that person is writing about or talking about.
Exactly.
Whatever. It's gonna matter. What's gonna matter is do you guys, can you function? Because at the end of the day, whatever gets you through the next day is gonna work.
For sure. And you figure it out. You figure it all out, man. It's just part of the whole thing. And it's a lifestyle change, obviously, but you figure it out. You figure out what works for you. You figure out a routine, and it just works.
And the other thing about not sleeping, especially in the initial, is it's gonna sound corny or whatever, but there's gonna be times where that boy's sleeping, and you're just gonna sit there and watch him because it's cool as shit. Like, holy shit, that's my son.
It is a really cool
like,
thing, man.
Yeah, and you're gonna consciously think like, I should really close my eyes right now and catch up. But he's just sitting there peaceful, sleeping. He's going to make some weird noise, and you're going to laugh about it. And you're going to take 30,000 pictures when you could have been using that time to sleep.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
And then you'll just pass out
new.
sitting up sometimes. And
Right.
It is awesome, man. And it's, like I said, it's a lifestyle change. But for everybody, you figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing.
It's not like so we're not, I mean, this all sounds like it could be kind of scary, but.
So you figure out that 4 weeks I'm off, and I go back to work, and then after 6-8 weeks she goes back to work. Then it's like, then what?
Yeah, that's and that goes for every stage too, man. Like, because if you think about like what we're going through, like now, like I think about like my kids are getting to the point where, okay, they're gonna have to go to elementary school. Okay, like whereas at daycare, like I'm like, okay, well I can just leave them there all day. I'll come pick them up. Afterwards, and like at 6 o'clock when I get out of work or whatever. Yeah. But now it's like, okay, who the hell's going to take care of these kids when they get out of school at 2 o'clock? Right. How am I going to organize this? How am I going to do this? Like, that's pretty freaking scary. And I don't know what the hell we're going to do.
Well, so once school starts, now and I never really thought about this before, but so when she's on maternity leave and you're off for a little while, you are responsible. That child is dependent on parents, and that's pretty much it. Every once in a while, maybe grandma, comes over and helps out a little bit. But the reality is 99% of that day, it's parents, right? Mm-hmm. And then you get to a point where, okay, everyone's going back to work, so we're going to do daycare, or we're going to do a babysitter, or whatever it is, whatever works for your family. You're gonna choose something for somebody to take care of your child, right? And so now there's parents from this time to this time, and then it's somebody else from this time to this time, and then it's parents again. Then you're going to get to school. So now it's going to be, okay, well, school doesn't start till this time, but I got to be out of the house before then. So now it's going to be, a latchkey program, a before school center or whatever. They're going to then get them kids off to school, and then they're going to go back to this latchkey program. So now you've got fucking 5 or 6 different people throughout the day caring for your kid. You know what I mean? And so now that you don't even trust yourself in the beginning, right? Because you don't know what to do.
But then you set them off to other people.
Then you start to figure it out. Now you got to build trust with one other person. Now it's 4 other people. And it's okay because you do what you have to do, but it does. It's just you're throwing another piece into the puzzle as each stage goes. Now the good thing is that all happens as they get older. So now they can talk to you. Now you're understanding what's going on, and you can...
Daycare can be scary.
Sure.
Absolutely. Because, you're, like you said, like you have them and you're everything. So it's like, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, well, we're both back at work and we're sending them... we knew the daycare they were going to. We know the owner. So it's like, I feel pretty comfortable. But it's still scary as shit. Like, I don't even know how old... I don't know how long Liz had off, but young, super. Sam was a tiny baby. We sent him off to the daycare.
Like 10 or 12 weeks.
Yeah. We just sent him off and we're like, here you go. But everything was fine. And then after a little while, then it's like, oh, this is just the norm. And this is it.
This now is the time where you guys start talking about what your options are and what you want to do.
Yeah, start looking at stuff around you.
Because you don't want to be forced to make a decision, right?
Yeah.
It's just like anything else. You'd rather take control of the situation and say, what do we want to do?
Which is kind of...
And then you say, all right, what are our options? And then you mesh what you want and what your options are. You take the best of what you can,
We got it broken down where the way my schedule and her schedule works, where we're probably only going to need 2.5 days a week. Somebody to watch.
So that's the thing is, so like ours was like that too. Because Liz is off a couple days a week. So it works out for, like, in a way. Which is, it's awesome. But at the moment we can't get into daycare. We have to rely on babysitters, which is it's tough, man. Like my mom works full time from home, but then there's days where she needs to take off to watch my kids, or Liz's mom, or Liz's aunt. I actually have to take days off work sometimes because I have nowhere to send the kids. So right now it's kind of a weird time.
A weird situation right now, like the child care centers, because of COVID-19. We can only have so many kids, and we can. Just the rules are different and everything else like that. So
it's weird, but so you have November, then you have her maternity leave and everything. So you'll be able to figure it out. But Ian made a good point though. Start putting a plan together now. Start scoping out like what's around you.
Yeah.
And it all works out, man. It's scary, but it all works out.
Given what I do, I'm here to tell you that like if childcare is going to be one of your options, and it should be, you should look at local babysitters. You should look at childcare. Listen, I can advocate for childcare all you want till you don't want to hear about it anymore. But I guess what I'm telling you is figure out what your realistic options are and explore each one of them and see where you guys feel comfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because maybe you feel more comfortable with the lady down the street, or maybe you feel more comfortable being in a center, or maybe whatever. There's so many different options, and you want to give yourself the best opportunity to be comfortable. Because at the end of the day, if you're not comfortable, then your job suffers, then your finances suffer, then it makes it more difficult, and now you're forced to do something that you don't want to do because, oh shit, I got to come up with something.
Yeah, for sure. but not to scare you or anything. Nick's like, I was hoping to come onto the show,
Really
like,
glad I came
this
here.
is cool, man. This is well, to be fair, like I said, Jess got a hold of me like right after she found out you were coming on, and she's like, just scare him a little bit. I'm like, no, we won't do that.
You're gonna
Not, but it's just what it is, and like I said, you figure it all out, and it works out.
I mean, you're the
It's a scare-
reason that we started doing this.
Yeah, it's for someone like you that doesn't know what to expect.
so clueless.
Like,
right
like
now.
you have an older brother who has kids. You have friends that have kids and stuff. But I mean, like to sit down and actually have the conversation of like, hey, this is what's going to happen. I mean, I don't know how often guys really get together and talk about that kind of stuff.
Well, not enough.
We never did. I mean, I was prepared
Once
a little bit.
Gibbs was born.
We started talking about
about it.
But at the same time, I still remember sitting there thinking to myself, okay, how hard can it be? This kid's not going to be moving. It's just a child that I'm going to sit there. I'll hold him when he's crying, and it's going to be so easy.
Well, and the funny thing is your first kid, you're like, oh my God. And then the second kid, you're like, man, that was easy with one kid. You know what I mean? So I mean, that's something to look forward to is you're going to learn so fast.
Oh yeah, you
how
learn
to
everything on the
do it,
fly.
you
You
know?
learn something every day. You kind of start picking up new things, and like we said before, whatever works for you, you figure out that works, and then that's what you're going to do.
So let me ask you, what's it like the first time you're alone with the kid? Just
So
you're watching it. That's all it has.
So I don't think you've had much experience with doing that.
No.
So for me, I had my niece. I would babysit her from time to time. I actually watched Liz and I watched Gibson for when he was really little. You and Chelsea had to do something. We watched him. But you're right though. That first time, like with a infant child,
Yeah.
like it is a little nerve wracking. It's like, okay, don't mess anything up because she's gone. You're giving her that time to go do something, and it's like this could be a little nerve wracking. But I think I just chilled the whole time. I think we just sat on the couch and watched TV.
I mean,
To be honest with you, it was not
especially
that
when they're
bad.
little. I mean, I remember I took Chelsea. She wanted to go to it was like a class or like a support group for like breastfeeding or something like that. Like, and so she's like, I really want to. I mean, Gibbs was days old, you know, and she felt like she wasn't doing it right or whatever. Or, you know, she just wanted to go, right? So me and Gibbs, we freaking, you know, I think he was 3 or 4 days old.
Wow.
And so we dropped her off at this place. And
You
then
took him for a ride,
we
huh?
just drove around for a little bit. And then I was like scared to drive around. So I remember we went to a Target parking lot. It was right by where she was going. And I got him out of the truck, and I was just like carrying the carrier around, and we just like went for a walk. And I was like, okay, this isn't too bad. And I was like, fuck, this thing's getting heavy. And so then
These are heavy.
So then I remember we went into Target, like, and I just put the thing in the shopping cart, and we just like strolled around for a while. I didn't buy anything. We just walked.
Just find something to do.
and
Go
I just like started talking.
get
to
a
him.
stroller. Let's go for a walk.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad. It's not
And
bad.
he woke up, and I remember, and I was like, oh shit, what do I do now? It's awake.
Yeah, and you're like, and then you start to think like, oh shit, I'm in a store. Hopefully, he doesn't start crying.
Right,
And you're like, I don't want to be. You see those people.
Yeah.
or if it
and-
shits in the store, then
Yeah.
you're like,
Well, that's another thing, man. It's like, don't go to the bathroom here. Just don't do it. And it's like, but you see those people at the store, like the kids having like a temper tantrum or something. Before I was like, oh man, get control. But now it's like, I feel for that person. I feel terrible for those.
Keep this in your head. It is so much easier to change an infant's diaper than it is to potty train.
Yeah, it's
I'm
true.
going through potty training right now with Salon.
Dude, changing a diaper, it's just
I
like
would
it's like it's fast. You figure it out, and you could come over and change. Well, I don't think you want to change Ben because the kid just flips over. He's like,
never changed.
I never changed a diaper until
Never
my
changed
kid.
diaper.
no, okay, I
have
did.
never
I did
done
her. Yeah, see, same thing. I had my
yeah,
niece,
Ayla, yeah.
so I would ask. Like, I would be like, you want me to watch her, or you know, like I used to love having her all the time because she's 9 now. Fuck.
That's insane.
But so I guess I was used to it. Also, when I was younger, I had a babysitter that was that had babies around a lot, so I used to hold babies a lot when I was little too. So
The changing of the diaper thing is such a joke. Like you see all these videos of dad like
like gagging.
throwing up and gagging.
Gas mask
It's
on.
crap.
It's like, dude, come on! Like
those
it's not even that bad. I mean, you have a dog.
they're
You clean up
funny
dog
videos.
shit, right?
I puke when I clean up dog shit.
Okay, so you might be one of
real?
those guys.
For real.
Really?
I'm in the yard yakking when I'm
I mean, I do
cleaning up dog
have like I hate.
Just
I mean,
to
I don't
be
like the
funny?
smell.
shit. No, I'm literally at home by myself.
Nick might be in trouble. He might be one of those guys with the gas mask throwing up in the bedroom.
Yes.
Well, you better get used to it
Because it's gonna poop is gonna be your life.
at least 3 years of your life.
Not even that though. Like, and then you're
ass.
like going there and be like, Dad, can you wipe my butt? Because like if they do, like I said before, Sam will like just like dab a piece of toilet paper on his butt cheek sometimes.
Yeah,
like he's like, got it. I'm like, okay, I saw your underwear, dude. I'm like, I've seen your underwear, man. Like this isn't. You're not doing a good job. I'm like, you need to figure this out because I'm not going to be doing this forever.
That's what I was telling Gibbs the other day. I'm like, dude, you're going to kindergarten next year, man.
I'm like, I told Sam
you need to really step up your ass wiping game because
this is not good. It's not going to fly. I'm like, and then he's over there scratching. He's like, I'm itchy. I'm like, well,
no shit.
literally, just take care of it, man. There's a way to do it. You know it. Stop being lazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Poop's going to be your life for a long time.
I mean, we could really get into some stories.
Nah, I'm good.
You want me to tell you about Ben pooping when he took his diaper off? Because that was cool in his crib.
Yeah.
Hopefully you never had one of those experiences because I've seen videos on YouTube of
Dude, the
kids
one
when they
that
have
you
like
tell-
touch the walls and they're touching
Oh,
everything. Luckily his wasn't that bad, but still, there's nothing I could do but just take him straight to the bathtub and just drop him in and
Let's
spray
not
him.
Talk about poop anymore.
Okay. We can
Nick doesn't like poop. There's puke too. There's a lot of puke.
Oh, yeah.
What about like showers and stuff? Like that one commercial. Dude's just holding the kid in the shower.
Yeah.
Some people do that.
People do that.
Absolutely.
I never really did. I was never much of a
So we got a
shower
dad hack
last week.
Just
ball water.
Yeah, ball water. So so his dad hack was so he took his kids into the shower with him and or whatever and like
And as they got older, they set them up
yeah
underneath them and whatever.
and he was just like hold them, make sure they were sitting up with his feet. But then he was saying like the water would go off of his balls right onto his kid.
He's like, so just don't
He's like,
stand
so
directly
just-
above them.
The ball water.
I was like, the episode was ball water, man.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I was never much of a showering with the kids thing.
I never did
did it. I guess maybe it gets them used to being in the bat and like in the water, not minding the water. So that might help.
We did a lot of baths. That's one thing you'll realize is
Baths. There's a lot of baths.
baths. I mean, number one, it's a time killer. Number two, they really enjoy it because it's fun. You can put little toys in there or whatever. And again, they're not enjoying it when they're tiny infants because it's just you're.
Honestly, I mean, Sam
more
loves
like a cloth.
bathtubs or taking baths right now.
Oh,
He'll
my
ask to take a
kids
bath
love it.
like in the middle of the day. I'm like, no, we're not taking a bath right now. It's
So-
not happening.
Are they
Go in the
really
pool.
sensitive with like water temperature?
Could be.
Could
yeah.
be. Definitely be careful of that.
Yeah. So they make a tub. I had one. I don't even know if we had it for Sloan. We must have. But it had a sensor on it. And so if the water was above a certain temperature, the whole tub would turn red.
Wow.
Hey, you know what, man?
And if it
You could
was-
use mine. I have one of those tubs sitting in the closet. It has the temperature on there. So like the same thing. It doesn't.
wow.
The temp. That's cool. I didn't know that they had that where it turns
Well,
red.
It's not like the whole thing, but just like there's like a
Where the-
a gauge
Oh,
or
okay. So I would say because we had like the temperature gauge and it would say like what the temperature of the water was,
Yeah.
and it would say if it was too hot or
Right.
right on.
And it would
I
be
have
like
that if you want to borrow that.
green or
Yeah,
blue
sure.
or I think green was just right, blue if it was
Yeah,
too
so it
cold,
might be the same
red
thing.
if it was too hot. But that worked out.
Yeah, that's a good
But I
thing
mean,
to
I'll
have.
do that now sometimes. I'll turn the bath on and just like hit it and go get the kids ready for a bath. And I'll just like, all right, get in the tub and I'll put them in. And like, ah!
I'm like, oh shit.
It's like it's not hot for me, but
Oh yeah, I saw something recently. If you're playing with your kids in the yard, public service announcement here. You know how you set the hose out for a while? Like if it's sitting in the yard, they say
yeah.
they show this child that they sprayed him with the
I
hose
saw that,
with like
dude.
the burns
I know
all over him because
exactly what
the
you're
water
talking
gets like hot as fuck sitting in the hose all day. So
Yeah,
that's
be
one
careful
thing.
with that.
can we talk about hose water? It tastes so good.
Hose water is the
Hose water.
best.
So hose water, like I actually talked to my dad about this the other day. Weird, actually. About how awesome hose water was when we used to play sports in the backyard and we would just go over to the hose.
Nice cold hose water. It tastes like rubber.
Let it run for a little while because there's probably spiders and shit crawling in there
But
too.
here's the thing. You know why it was so good though? Because
was
you
cold.
actually needed it.
You needed it.
You know what I mean? Like, because you're out playing.
Yeah.
You're freaking dehydrated.
You get the it's true. You really needed it. If you're drinking out of the hose, you needed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was phenomenal
Well,
though.
and you didn't want to go in to get
No,
a cup of
dude, we did
water.
not want to be in the
you're-
house at all.
Take your
get
shoes
back out
off
there and
and-
play.
Another thing too about playing outside and how we never wanted to be inside. Remember growing up playing manhunt in the yard?
Oh yeah.
And like I was outside in the back on the patio last night. I'm looking at the sky and I'm like, June. It's still light out at like 10 o'clock. Mid-June. It's mid-June.
Yeah.
But it's like we're like sitting there waiting. We're like, is it gonna get dark soon? It's already like 9:30. Like those were the days though, man. Playing out in the yard, playing manhunt every night of the summer. Then wake up, we play sports. I mean,
Well, you got to think how terrified our parents had to be. Like, we would leave in the morning and show up at sunset.
But I don't even know if they were terrified. That was the norm back
That was,
then.
yeah, I guess.
I guess
It's hard
now
to say because our kids are not at that age yet.
they're not. But I
right?
feel like it's a different.
You weren't doing that when you were 4 years old.
Oh hell no! I think you start to get a little more
8,
lenient.
9, 10.
But at the same time, I feel like there's a lot more
I
stuff
feel
to be
like
afraid of.
I agree. That
we had freedom
I would
as
agree
kids.
with you.
Because our parents, not only that, like we were gone all day. There was no way to get a hold of us.
No,
They had no clue. They're like,
GPS,
no, there was
phone.
no. Like, I remember being at a friend's house one day. My mom, it was the most random person's house. It was Amber Musara's house, and my mom somehow found out, like, got down the line of parents,
Phone tree.
and then got to her, and like I remember sitting like on the front step, and I'm like, "Hey, your mom's on the phone." I'm like, "How the hell does she even have this number?" Like, wow. But that's how our parents had to do it, man. She's like, "Hey, she had to tell me she had to go somewhere, like, and dinner was home waiting for me or something." It's like now he's like, "Oh, answer your iPhone. I'm gonna FaceTime." Like, I mean, you could get a hold of your kids at any point. You
Right.
could.
Yeah.
There's GPS on the phone. Like,
Yeah.
it's a different time completely.
It is, and
So,
that's
I mean-
okay.
I never really asked my parents though how they felt about us. Like, I don't know if they just
Yeah.
didn't care. I was also the youngest, so
Yeah.
they were probably
Literally,
like,
we were
whatever.
gone at least 8 hours a day without any
yeah.
supervision.
The sun came up, get on the bike, and we're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gone.
But again, because I always think of that too, and I'm like, okay, well, when my kids are 10, 11 years old, because that's really what we remember, I think, is we were 10, 11, 12 years old, riding bikes, going to the ball field, whatever it is that we were doing, pretty much spending our day rounding up our friends, and then by the time you got everyone together, it was time to, all right, well.
I gotta run home and go get dinner.
Yeah. I think it's hard to comprehend that now because I look at my kids and I'm like, dude, I can't leave them anywhere.
Yeah.
No.
But the reality is I think as they get older,
I think you start to get a little looser on
I mean,
everything.
you're right. It won't be the same because, but I almost wonder, like, all right, if my kids, I don't know, when do kids get phones now?
I don't know. I mean, I see
Like my mom asked me that the other day.
They're
She's like,
born with them?
Can we get them a phone?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, we're not.
at the house. So when your child's born, they give them an iPhone.
right.
They just slide it into the bassinet with them, and here's their iPhone.
I'm like, sir, what insurance you guys on? Oh, he's getting
You
a
get a
Samsung.
Samsung.
Yeah, sorry. Like, wait, which one do we have to be on to get the iPhone 11?
Oh, he's gonna have
Is it the Pro?
green text.
Yeah, son of a bitch. He's gonna be that kid. Yeah, I mean,
But I mean, there's going to be ways, and again, it is a different world. So I don't think that kids are going to be doing exactly that. But
no, I think just in general, and we've talked about this before
Yeah.
on here. It's like it's just everything you even see out in society
it's
now
just
with
a
kids.
different world, right?
It
Like,
is.
There's different standards, and there's different, like we've said it a couple times. Like we used to ride our bikes down freaking 306.
Oh yeah,
And if you saw a bunch of 11-year-olds riding their bikes down 306 right now, you'd be like, where are their parents?
Yeah.
Not only that, I think do we reach a certain age as adults that we're like, these kids are up to no good.
Right.
Like, you know, like I see a bunch of teenage
What
like
are they
like
doing?
kids like in the neighborhood like
Yeah.
skateboarding down the street. I'm like, what the fuck is that kid doing? He's gonna egg my house. Like, what is he?
Right.
He's got fireworks.
He's got
What's going?
firecrackers.
Kid's got firecrackers. I'm gonna turn into Karen out
Blow
of
his
nowhere.
fingers off.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
god,
but
man.
I mean, I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see how we adapt to that.
I think
Because I want to be in my head. I'm going to be the guy that says, "All right, be home at whatever time.
I'll
and
see you then."
Leave them alone." But I know my wife won't, and I don't know if the way. I think that these kids know so much more at 5 years old than we did, because number one, it's just a different time.
Everything's-
I'm 10 years older than my dad was when I was
Yeah.
born. So like I know more than my dad did at, you know what I mean?
Oh,
So,
yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
Your dad didn't have a podcast to listen to.
No, he didn't.
No.
No, you had cable television
Yeah, I
and
had to go change
regular
the,
radio station.
Change the channel for him.
Yeah, you had the tube. Oh, you had to change the channel for him. Ian was the remote. Batteries are good.
You know
over
what
there.
I figured out is I do the same thing.
Oh, I'm so lazy with that.
It's not, a dial anymore, but I'll be like, "Hey Gibbs, come here." Like, go give me the remote.
Oh, I do the same thing. I always ask the kids to go grab me a remote.
Yeah.
They're even getting drinks out of the fridge for me now.
yeah.
So I mean that's awesome. So it gets to that at some point, and then eventually they'll be able to mow the lawn, and they'll be able to do things. I don't know if I could let them do that. I'm trying to teach them. Okay, so I mowed back to the lawns. mow the lawn, right? I mowed the lawn the other day, and Sam goes straight to the garage, gets his 4-wheeler out, and starts riding all over the lawn. I'm just like, there goes the lines, man. You're just going everywhere, like just driving circles. Oh yeah, I had to. I almost disowned him.
So what's your technique? I like to make 3 passes. That way I have enough to.
Do you have a rider?
I have a rider.
Okay, so I don't have a rider. So mine's just push. So I just do every week. I do a different.
Yeah,
you gotta cut
I'm going to tell you something that's going to blow your mind.
Blow it.
Do your passes at the end.
Yeah, but I need room for when I back
don't.
up.
No, you
You
don't.
don't think so?
No. Just
Does it depend on the shape of the yard?
Just do it. Do your backups and everything else. And then at the end, go back over around the edges, and it gets rid of your backups.
Ah,
Yeah, that's true. Because it'll.
I'm
That's
gonna
true.
try that.
So my technique was
It's weird, though.
with a rider growing up. My technique was I would go in a circle, and I would go this way. So I would just go opposite to get. I'm thinking back to what I used to do. But with my push mower, I go a different direction every time.
we have much more control.
Oh, so much more control. And
Straight.
It's just dead straight lines. And I mean, so this week was diagonal lines. So I mean,
My next, I don't know when my next cut's going to be, but it's diagonal.
well, the grass is starting to not grow as fast.
I know, dude.
So I was watering it 3 times this week. I'm doing the front yard. See, you're on the corner, so your back and front is completely visible. Yeah. Backyard, I'm like, yeah, whatever. It looks nice back there, but the front's got to be
I got a wet spot I got to watch out for. 2 wet spots
in the front or back.
in the back. It's a disaster.
Backyard though, man.
I've gotten my mower stuck in them.
Oh, so that's.
I remember that happened at Morley.
And then you got mud lines.
My old house.
Oh, so you have the mud lines going.
My old house, right in the back. I used to get it stuck all the time.
Get a push mower for the for the wet spots, man. You have a little more control. You won't get stuck.
Or you get one of those walk behinds.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's where it's at.
Nah, it's too much work. You know where to put your beer.
Get a
That's
belt.
fair.
A beer belt.
A beer belt.
Ooh. Just use a Camelback.
What about mowing with a baby? You put the little.
I haven't done
things
that.
on it?
Haven't done
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
Really? You put the.
Just I don't use headphones. I probably should. But so Gibbs was never really into it. He was for like once or twice. He had the push mower thing but because I always had a rider, he
Oh, so it didn't look like what you were doing.
He didn't take to it. And he never wanted to ride with me.
Oh wow!
But now Sloan, this year, so she'll be 3 next
3,
month.
yeah.
And she loves sitting up there with me. So she'll go there and she points on where to go and everything. And I'll be like, nope, this is the direction we're going
Yeah.
today.
No. Dad has a routine here.
But then, so what I'll do is she'll ride with me and I'll have Gibbs go pick up all of his toys and, whatever. Like, hey, go move that, whatever.
Not running that over
So the headset thing. So with Sam and Ben, like they both, when I get the lawnmower out, they both have to. I'm telling you, sometimes I don't want them out in the yard.
Yeah.
Because
right.
I'm like, I just need to get this done
Right.
and just be done with it. But they could hear that lawnmower start from a mile away. So they're
excited.
both out there. They both get their lawnmowers with the bubbles. And as soon as I get the weed whacker out, they have a weed whacker. And then I have a backpack blower. They get the backpack blower out. But they have the headset. So we went to Monster Jam a couple years ago.
Ooh, yeah.
So I have the headset. So Sam puts the earmuffs on, and then Ben grabs my PlayStation headset and puts that on. And they're both out in the yard pushing their mowers next to me.
That's
So
awesome.
it is pretty cool. That's fun, man.
It is fun.
Now you could maybe November you won't be mowing the lawn. So I was gonna say,
Sloan does the driveway with me too.
okay,
Like Gibbs never wanted anything to do with that. If I go out and like last year, I remember, I don't know what was going on, but for some reason, like I have a snowblower and I just don't like to use it. So
Trying to get rid of that thing, or
no.
it was fair question. It was a fair question.
It's nice. It's an area. It's pretty bad.
Solid.
But no, like for whatever reason last year, because I didn't really have to do it that many times.
The last
I
2 years.
wanted to shovel. I was like, I'll get a little workout in, whatever. And Sloan would go out there with her little shovel, and she would stay out there with me for like an hour. I'm like, all right, sweetie, you got to get inside. You're gonna freeze.
So cold.
And she didn't care. She was like, no, Daddy, we're not done.
Good.
Okay,
Wow.
let's do it.
She'll be the one that she'll be like you as
Yeah,
a kid growing up,
right.
and you have to go to Ian's house in the wintertime, and we're like, we have to chip the ice.
Remember that shit? Dude?
Oh, I do, man. I remember Ian's driveway.
Like, dude, I can't go anywhere until the driveway's done. And Steve would come over and be like, dude, you're done. I'm like, no.
No, we have to chip the ice. We had like the little
had
hoe
that
thing,
little
like the little
ice
scraper,
Oh, yeah.
scrape. You had to get everything.
Driveway had to be perfect.
His dad, meanwhile, was just driving over it and just packing the snow down to make the ice even thicker.
in his fucking 350 truck.
It's like,
dually,
sweet.
like, just crushing it down.
I can't picture that at all.
No, I never had we had a snowblower at my mom's like for a couple years, but it was always by hand. And back in the day, I swear, snow was so much worse.
Yeah, we were littler.
But I feel like we got it so much more often.
Oh, we did for sure.
So much more snow.
And like it was the worst, man. Our drive was long and it was miserable.
Dude, I can remember like being so excited for snow days, because you don't have to go to school and everything.
Yes.
But then it also meant that you were going to spend hours
Cleaning
on
the driveway. Yeah, the driveway was always
And like the snow's just coming down. So you're like, why am I even doing this right now?
I hate snow.
Never shoveling. So much work.
I don't now.
Just drive over it. If your car can make it through.
The
you're
only
fine.
time I do it is if I know people are coming.
If people are coming over, if you're having a party, there you go. I got that one.
Nice.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, if people are coming over or something like, I remember last year.
Must have been New Year's that you guys did that because I think that it was last
New Year's, and then like Christmas. We always have Christmas at our house, and so like grandparents and coming over and stuff like that. You can't have a slippery driveway.
No, that's true. Get the salt, but
Cleaned up.
with the kids, man, it'll all be fun, man. You're gonna have a great time with all of it.
I think with kids, like as they get old enough, and so November, so by next
November.
Next
Christmas, like you can start like going out for a little bit and doing the drive, and I think it's important to do that too.
Because it shows them what you're doing, and it's cool to make it exciting too, because they're excited about whatever you're doing, which is the coolest thing. Like whatever mom and dad are doing, that's the coolest thing in the world.
I mean, think about it this way: every time you expose them to something, whether it's shoveling the driveway or weeding the flower beds or working on, changing oil, whatever it is that you're doing, it is a brand new experience. Like, yes, we look at it as a task that has to get done.
Yep.
And even if you try to do whatever it is to enjoy it, it's something that is just, all right, well, got to do this.
Yep.
It's got to get done.
But the kids are excited about it.
Brand new to them. I mean, it could be something.
And it's different than what they're usually doing. So it's like,
Right.
This is awesome. This is exciting. And it doesn't happen all the time. So
if they get excited about it, you got to take advantage of that and say, okay.
Because it's easy to get frustrated. There's that's the thing with everything the child's doing is like, man, it could be very frustrating. You're like, oh, son of a bitch. But for them, that's the world.
Yeah.
And you just got to look and just realize, man, there's the big picture here. Yeah, I'm not getting done what I need to get done, and they're slowing me down. But that, for them, is the most important thing.
Right.
And, you'll get it done eventually.
Yeah.
So just whatever. I mean, it's tough to look past all that shit in the moment.
Super, super difficult in the moment. And you know what, Steve and I have talked about this too, is like you'll get done with it and you send your kid inside because you just need to get the driveway done.
Yeah.
And then afterwards you'll be like, I'm sitting here now doing nothing.
Yep,
No
and I
one
could
to talk to.
Yep, exactly. I could have just let them do this.
Spent that time and taken another 45 minutes and finished it, and like, man, I wish I would have done that.
It's those missed moments that
That's
you
a
really
shitty
regret.
feeling.
That's the missed moments are the regret, and then the living in regret after doing something, like yelling
That
at them
is
for
a
something
shitty
stupid.
feeling.
It's a really shitty feeling. So just try to always see the big picture. See,
Or like when your
realize
kid-
what that means to them more
when
than
your kid asks you to read the same book that you just read.
You're like,
3
oh, we
times
just
in a
read
row.
that. Like,
no,
yeah.
I'm not reading it again.
yeah, like just
And
just
then they finally fall asleep, and you're like, I'm a dick. Why
yeah.
didn't I?
It's like why would I get so upset about something so stupid? What am I gonna do? I'm gonna go sit on the couch
7
now and play on my
minutes.
phone. You know what I mean? Or like,
Right.
who gives a shit? And it's like I said, it's so hard to see that in the moment. But then when it's over, that regret afterwards is the worst feeling
Dude,
ever.
it's rough, man. Like,
So-
you feel like a bad dude.
And for everybody who listens, and we've said this 100 times, just try not to do that. Just try to look past it. And what this podcast does for us is it makes us realize, and it makes you think more about those moments and try to be like, was it worth it? Is it worth it to be mad about this? No, it's not.
Right.
Just sit back and just be like, fuck it. Let's do what you want to do.
Right.
So I think it was a lot of good advice.
For sure. Yeah. I'm stoked. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's
Excitement.
the most
It is
exciting thing.
So much fun.
And if I could give you like advice, because we're giving you advice. Let's just say you have a lot of friends, you have a lot of family, and people are going to give you advice, right? But I'll just say this now: your wife's pregnant. Live in the journey with her. Help her through anything that she needs. Just do everything that you can do to help her. We as men don't know what the fuck pregnancy is like.
Yeah.
The difficulty of pregnancy is got to be insane.
Yeah.
You know, so just be there with her. Everything she wants you to do it. Because we're living it pretty fucking easy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, at times it's like, oh man, I don't want to do this for you. That's ridiculous. Just do it. And when the kid's born, have a plan. Like, yeah, let me have a little bit more before I get into this.
Little bit.
Just a little,
Oh,
a
there
finger.
we go.
There we go.
Little kiss.
Little kiss. So for the birth,
No, Steve,
Have a plan.
You're absolutely right. You make a plan together. Do shit together.
yeah, do shit together. And
Like don't pull the man card and say, well, it's you're the mom. You figure it out and like you tell me what to do. No. Come up with it together. Work together to say, okay, this is what we want to do. This is our, I remember when Chelsea said, well, we need an overnight bag. What should we put in it? I'm like, I don't need anything. Like, you put whatever you want in the bag.
Yeah.
Camel
But you know what?
And like I was pissed at myself afterwards because that was an opportunity to spend time with her.
Mm-hmm.
And so like the second time around, I was like, all right, babe, let's do this.
yeah, be supportive
But,
and
like, I didn't get a
everything.
second chance for the first kid. You know what I mean? And it wasn't awful. You know what I mean? Like we got.
But it's just one of those things like, this is stupid. This is cliche.
Right,
This is
like-
something this is Pinteresty.
right.
But
right.
you do need it. And if that's what she wants, then do it. Support her, encourage her.
Well, it's not even if she does. Like again, when we did that, like Chelsea was perfectly fine with just doing her own thing, and she's very independent, and we work that way, But at the same time, I thought, man, what an opportunity that was for one of the last days that it was just going to be just me and her.
Yeah, you don't think about it like that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it would have been cool to spend fucking 2 hours and going back and forth and saying, well, no, I don't need this. I need this. And well, you go get me this. And you know what I mean? Like we could have done that. And look, I don't look back and regret stuff, but I do know that the second time around, I wanted to be more
Involved in all
involved.
that stuff. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's not much we can do. I Steve and I have said it before. The first few months, especially like, I would say like the maybe 4 or 5 months. So like 2 months before the kid is born and then 3 months after, you're basically a glorified like go getter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you need a pillow. Oh, you need another blanket?
Yep.
Oh, you need a cloth to wipe off all the vomit. You need this, you need that. You just go get shit,
Exactly what that is. I mean, and then
and that's okay.
yeah, absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. So like I said, like just do what she wants you to do. If she tells you to read this or look into this, do it. Have a plan. I think having a plan is a great idea. So like the day of the birth, like that's a whirlwind in itself. It's just chaos.
And
you
it's
don't know
not
what
going to go perfectly.
No, it's not. But they're going to say,
having a
you're going to be like, oh, I'll just hang out and do this. They're like, no, get your ass over here and do this. Like, okay,
Yeah.
so you hold their leg or do whatever. And yeah, man, I don't know how you feel about the whole thing, but like everybody's different. Watching the birth could be scary, gross or whatever, but I think it's the most amazing thing. And,
Really?
and when he's born, you want to talk about a feeling you've never felt before, man. Like you love your mom, you love your parents and your wife and your friends. There's no love like you're going to feel for that. That's just the most amazing thing. It's the biggest miracle like ever. I mean, it sounds so not manly of someone to say,
whatever.
but it's the best thing ever.
Dude, like we're talking about like, in the first couple months, diaper changing. Like I can't remember a lot of that stuff because you learn stuff and then you dump it because you have to learn something else.
You're learning on
I
the fly.
can remember every second of watching Gibbs being born.
Absolutely.
Watching Sloan being born. Like I can remember every second.
I can remember the light, like what I saw, everything around me.
Yep.
Like that's a memory that you'll
I can
never
remember
forget.
the smell.
Yeah, absolutely. That the hospital smell, like
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
everything you see is just like.
I can see every single person's face. that
Yep,
was in
I know
that room. You
if
what
I saw those
Like,
nurses, I would remember them. Like
Yeah.
it's the craziest thing ever, man. And then like moving forward after the birth and everything, we talked about like what it's like at the hospital and then leaving and everything. But when you go home, and it's gonna be frustrating. It's gonna be new. You're gonna have moments of just pure anger and just even maybe regret something, like stupid shit. But just try to look past all that. Realize that those crazy moments, those sleepless nights that's temporary.
Yeah.
But also think about, and
doesn't
Ian
feel
said this before.
temporary.
No, it doesn't. It feels like it's never going to end. But like Ian said before, like those nights where you have those moments to go sleep and you just see your son sleeping and you're like, holding them and then, or when you're just holding them and they're looking at you and like realizing that you are their everything. You and mom are their most important thing, and you are all that exists to them. You're like the most important thing in their world. So that kind of stuff, just take that in, remember those moments. Just, they go by fast.
Okay.
I know that's cliche, but the time flies.
So true though.
Take in every single moment. Every milestone is worth celebrating.
I mean, my kids, my son's 5 tomorrow, or literally tomorrow, whatever. He's going to be 5
in an hour.
Yeah. And now I'll be like, hey dude, let's, go do this or whatever. And all he's doing is like, well, I was going to watch some Sonic.
It's like, and those times fly by.
Well,
it's like,
all right, I'll watch it with you. And I'll be like, well, I'm like, dude, come on, man.
It's true though. I mean, it flies, and I think just trying to take in all those moments it's definitely worth it. Take all the take as many pictures as you can.
Yeah.
Try to remember all that. Take it all in, and just enjoy every second, because I guess we said it flies by. But you'll never feel more love in your life than having your child.
Dude.
It's like, it's painful. Like to sit there, like even still. I mean, my kids are 4, and I just look at them sleeping. I'm like, oh my god, like this is my everything. And that's the coolest thing in the world. So celebrate every accomplishment, every coup, like when they roll over for the first time, when they start crawling, just those stupid little things that are the biggest thing in the world. And it's awesome, man. Every little thing that's going to happen is going to be the best thing. So like I said, we try to get macho and think about stuff like, oh yeah, whatever. But really, when you're in the moment, man, that's the best thing in the world. That's all I could say to you is like, I've said it before, I've done a lot of cool shit. I've had a lot of fun. I've done a lot of awesome things, but the best thing I ever did was being a dad. That's my favorite thing in the world. I love it. And I don't know. That's just my
100%.
What I wanted to say. Like, it's like, yeah, it could be scary. And a lot of stuff we said kind of seems a little weird and uncomfortable, but when it all comes down to it, man, like that's my advice I want to give to you, and us that we want to give to you is just, it's awesome. It's the most amazing journey, I guess you'll say.
Well, what's cool about being on the other side of infants and toddlers, I mean, like our kids are older toddlers at this point.
Yeah.
They're like humans now.
Yeah,
they're humans. Yeah.
But what's cool about it is all the shit that sucked, you kind of remember, but it gives you so much perspective on like everything.
Yeah.
I like one of the worst things I remember, the time that I lost my shit the most. Gibbs was probably, I don't know, 2 months old, something like that. And I was rocking him. It was like 4:00 in the morning, something like that. And this kid just wouldn't shut the fuck up. Like something was pissing him off. It wasn't food. It was, he was just pissed off at the world, And, we had the wub and ub.
Yeah.
And I think it was the frog. I think we named it Carlos, if I remember correctly.
Everybody had some good names for those womanubs.
But I remember like I was trying to put it. I was trying to give it to him, and
You don't want to say put it in his mouth.
I know. There's some things I say sometimes. I'm like, oh man, I just want to hit the she said button.
No, I was trying to give him his binky or whatever, and he wasn't taking it. I tried again and again and again. He finally went to him. I'm gonna go fine, and I threw it at the wall, and it hit the wall, woke my wife up. And so Chelsea comes running in looking, and I'm like, I felt like the biggest piece of shit in the world, but I was so fucking mad at this point. It had been hours at this point that he just would not stop crying.
Yeah.
And I just remember like that. And then now it gives me so much perspective because I remember that. And so now when I'm frustrated by him, I'm like, it wasn't bad as that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
that night
absolutely.
was rough, man.
No, you think about it. I mean, and that's another thing too, is helplessness of not being able to make them happy. There's nothing you can do. So try to remember that too. Being angry and getting pissed off is not going to help the situation.
Doesn't help.
You're just gonna feel like an asshole, and being helpless like that. I mean, being helpless not even with the kid though. It's like with your wife.
Yeah.
I remember nights where Liz something was going wrong. She was crying. The baby's screaming and crying, and I'm just standing in the doorway like,
yep.
I'm like, can I help? What?
Do I lean on the door frame?
I'm like,
do
I stand here? Do I put my hands on my hips? Do I okay? And like, what can I do? And she's like,
You're afraid to speak.
You don't want to say anything because whatever you're gonna say is wrong.
Yeah.
Should I even be in this room? So there's nights like that where it's like the most helpless feeling in the world, where like I can't do anything. And a lot of times there's nothing Dad can do.
Yeah.
Except be, like Ian said, go get something.
Go get something, or just
Your bellhop, man. Bell rings, you're up and you're doing
Sometimes
it.
the best thing you can do is say, "I love you." What
can
I do?
Encourage her.
If I can do anything, please let me know. I'm here to help.
Because mom is absolutely 100% the most important thing at the beginning. Like that's, like Ian said before.
And
Like
it's not that you're not important, but the reality is that
they need mom more than
we
anything.
can't do anything for them.
Yeah.
You know,
There's nothing
other
we can
than
do.
love 'em. You know what I mean? That's
Unless
all you
you're
can do.
Stewie Griffin and he latches on to Peter and realizes him.
Wow.
But no, I mean, there's just got to help out. Just encourage her and do what you can. But you'll figure it out, man.
Yeah.
We all
I
did.
guess.
Every dad does. You just figure it out.
Well, and like going back to I think how we originally started all this was, a lot of times what that means is you skip that day of hunting.
Yeah.
Be present.
Go back to that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's not to say that you shouldn't have your own time, because you should.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Both of you should.
But again, you should work it out with her and you say, okay, I would like to go once a week, you know,
or something.
Twice a week.
whatever it is. Like,
Whatever works.
Honestly, whatever works for you guys. If you
Whatever.
say
If she gives you that,
and you try it, and then you say, oh, well, maybe I can
yeah,
go again,
or read the reaction, because the reaction's going to be, yeah, go ahead.
And that's the thing is,
I hope it was worth
especially
it.
knowing Jess, like, she will say, yes, do this, or go ahead. And that's okay. But being present, especially in those early days, weeks, months, is so important. I mean, you want to be able to build that bond, and you build that bond by doing the good stuff and the bad stuff, right? Like you can't have it both ways, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't just be there for the, good hours and then just be gone. So, I mean, I think
Here's
a
the
lot of
thing.
it is
Equal,
just the sacrifice,
make it an
right?
even thing. So like, yeah, like, okay, well,
Yeah.
Hey,
I'll make
I'm-
up those 4 hours.
like,
I'll take
yeah,
your
like, hey,
shift
why
later
don't you
in the
go?
night.
Why don't you go meet? Like when she's able to, like, be like, hey, why don't you go meet with your friends and go have a drink, and I'll stay home and just you go out and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Go shopping. Go do whatever you want for a little while.
Here's the thing about doing the make up those 4 hours, and Jack Tierney actually brought this up when he was on. Don't count.
Yeah, don't
Responsibilities.
Yeah, don't.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great advice. Don't be like, I did
you
this.
will never win that.
No,
I promise you, you will never win that.
you
It
lose.
will-
You lose right off the rip
yeah,
for everything
it
that
won't be
she's
even
going through.
ever. So don't even like. And again, I'm saying don't, but what I really mean is, I would prefer, like, I'm telling you that this doesn't really work. Like, do what you want.
This
but,
is just more advice.
yeah. Don't make it a competition, and don't make it like this has to be an even type thing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
What do we need right now? And a lot of times that is like, I remember lots of times where I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go to the store because we need this. And they're like, no, you're not.
Like, oogie.
Well, I just had the kid for 6 hours. Well, I'm going to the store because I need this. Okay. All right, go. If you start counting, you will never win, and neither of you will be happy.
Okay.
That's true.
So just like whatever needs to happen, make it happen. Jack had always said, he's like, look, I was in a job where I had to be gone. So like his wife doesn't work, and so she stays home with the kids, and it's an amazing mom and everything. And so he would say, no matter how tired I was, I did bedtime every single night. And for me and Chelsea, like we swap out all the time on bedtime stuff. You know what I mean? We'll say, all right, I'll do both kids tonight or whatever. And we work it out amongst each other. But like for him, he was like, I did every single bedtime, no matter how fucking dog shit tired I was after working all day. I did it every single night because
That's
what
his time.
I couldn't possibly bring it even. So that's what I could do. And I just made that my thing. And that's what worked for them,
Yeah, so everybody's different, obviously, like we said, and like you said, with two kids, you swap back and forth, or even with one kid, you swap.
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
take turns, or make
you
it,
just
or
do
make
it.
it, or that's your thing,
And that
or
could
that's
be
mom's
your
thing.
thing.
Yeah. That's there's
or
nothing
maybe
wrong.
breakfast. Maybe you're a morning person. You can say, you know what? I want to let Jess sleep in, and I'm going to make breakfast every single. This is, of course, when kids a little bit older, but Maybe that's what your thing is breakfast or it's lunch or, whatever. Like you figure out what your thing can be and you just do it and you don't count,
For sure.
You start counting and then you start arguing.
Here's the most important thing. It's a team effort.
Yeah.
And just take it as that.
Okay.
One question though before we move on, because he's not gonna have a dad hack. He might. I don't know. So for you guys, what's your plan for the birth? Are you guys doing like an all natural thing? Are you guys doing like she's just doing
It's a normal thing.
yeah,
I guess.
it's a normal thing. Yeah, I mean that's
Go to the hospital. Have a
yep.
baby.
Just go do it.
There you go. So
Not like a bathtub thing, like the pool thing.
No, she talked about that and then Corona and everything. You can't even.
No.
Yeah, that's true. Corona kind of like
Yeah.
made everything pretty standard, right?
We talked about like a midwife before, and,
Yeah.
but then like this all hit, and it's like, well, we just
Let's just be at the hospital. Let's just go. Yeah, let's just go to the hospital and do it. Yeah, for me personally, like a lot of people do that kind of like they do that, and that's amazing. But for me, I'd be like, I'd rather put this in the hands of all this staff here that's gonna just tell me what to do. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I could deliver it.
Perry did.
I watched a video on it.
Yeah, I've seen all kinds of videos.
Yeah, Brian Perry did. Wow, no big deal.
Yeah, mine Shumpert did in his bathroom. Remember that?
Yeah.
He tied off the cord of the headphones. Amazing. Wow. I can't even imagine being in that situation.
Dude.
Who else was it? Who
Who's
was the towels?
Morris.
Yeah. There's another guy we had on the show.
We've had 2 dudes on the show that have given birth not in a hospital.
Wow.
Not planned.
Not planned, yeah. Perry was on the way.
Perry was on the way to the hospital. Did you ever know that story? Pulled over on the side of Route 2.
Yeah, so he was on the on-ramp from, what was it, Lost Nation.
Yeah.
Pulled over, and Sarah's like, it's happening. He had to get out, and he called 911, and he delivered the baby. And then the ambulance showed up right afterwards.
Like a minute after the baby was out.
And we made the joke, like, that ambulance, those guys they were sitting down the street.
They were
They're
just
like,
waiting. Yeah, it looks clear.
He's got it. Turn on the lights. Let's go.
Those guys were dying for that stork pin, though. You get a stork pin.
Oh, you get a stork pin,
really?
huh? Oh.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Brian should get a stork pin.
he should definitely get a stork pin.
Let's find one on the internet. eBay.
We should get on the interwebs. eBay. E-boy.
Yeah, man. Like, the stuff happens,
Yeah.
Like, thankfully, we were all... My kids were pretty
standard.
standard.
Yeah.
If that happens, she's getting in the bed. We're not getting that shit in the inside of the truck.
So me and Steve, that's what we did. The first thing we did, we were like, all right, well...
Yeah, we knew a guy.
We knew a guy, so we sent a guy to go over and detail their car.
You know what the best part about that is? So I think it was the day
didn't
before
really
he was
tell
going. We didn't tell him the details. I sent him a text like the day before he was going. I'm like, by the way, this dude's wife gave birth in the car. He's like, oh, now you tell me? I'm like, yeah, sorry, man.
Wow.
Luckily, so Perry's dad like cleaned out most of it with a hose.
Oh yeah, that story's hilarious.
Just
He was
blood.
in the middle of suburbia, just like blood running down the driveway.
Hey, just over at their house.
It's like Dexter.
Yeah, he just pulls a bunch of plastic out. He's like, hey, he's got his knife kit. But yeah, man. Okay, so I guess maybe we could give him a dad hack.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That'd be a
give me
different
hack.
thing. So
Give me a hack. An early on hack.
Hey, wait, before we get into dad hack, let's go. So usually we do a proud dad moment, which I don't know how can we do this. So,
All right, so
do you have something that you're proud of? Maybe go ahead.
So a proud dad moment, and so just keep in mind that 6 months or a year later, we'll have you back on the show, and then you can really dive into this. But you could technically have a proud dad moment or a dad hack right now, but a proud dad moment. So one of the things that we really love to do is when we're talking to a dad is make them think a little bit about something that they're proud of, whether it's something that they're proud of their kids for doing. Sometimes it's what you're proud of yourself for, because as dudes, like as guys, men, we don't necessarily take the time to think of that, right?
Yeah, or something you're proud of your wife for,
Or something you're proud of your wife for, right? Like it helps so much. It helps me, I know, is to kind of force myself to think about that. Like, what am I actually proud of? Because we do things. Listen, I'm here to tell you, being a parent is fucking hard.
Oh yeah.
And you're going to do things every day without even knowing it that you're like, oh shit, that was pretty freaking cool, you know? And in the beginning, like we're like in the stage that you're at right now, you're going to think it's very trivial. And then you're going to realize like, oh, that shit helped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
So if you have anything that's...
I don't know, actually deciding I wanted to have a kid, I guess.
fuck yeah.
That's a
Because
very proud dad moment
That's
right there.
huge.
I'm a very selfish person. And
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about Nick is I know him really well.
Yeah. of
Okay,
course.
I've known this guy my whole life, and I always known that he was never like a big
yeah,
kid person.
Don't like kids.
No, like he didn't want to even have anything to do with them. Like even if it was like holding a baby or anything like that, he was like pass.
Yeah.
So like when I found out that like you guys were trying and then they found out that you guys were pregnant, like I'm like that is fucking awesome. Like because I never really thought of you wanting that.
Yeah.
So for you to make that decision and say, yeah, let's do it, that's a very proud dad.
Well, and
moment.
then have the self-awareness to recognize that that's a proud dad, because it is.
That
dude.
is that's
amazing.
right off the rip. Good for you, man.
My favorite proud dad moment we've ever had.
I know. I got goosebumps. I
That's,
think. I
that's
actually do.
really
Look
sweet,
at that.
dude. Like, you should be proud of that because you're 100% right. That is
That's a big decision, and
unselfish move.
Yeah.
yeah. And as a husband, that's like, obviously, I know that Jess has always wanted to have kids. So I mean, like for you to be, and you want it too now. You know, like I think at some point you were probably like, nah.
Yeah.
But that's an awesome thing as a husband to be like, you know, what's really important here. Like that's huge. And I'm not saying to compromise. I don't want it to sound like
No, but it is.
yeah, but to realize what the big picture is and what's important for you guys as a happy couple, as a married couple. And I mean, I know you guys like you said, you guys love to travel. You guys had like one of the most epic like weddings.
Yeah.
Your proposal picture,
Oh yeah.
just one of the most amazing things ever. Where was that, by the way? Was that in Colorado?
The wedding, yeah, where we got married. Colorado.
Yeah. The picture, like the drone picture, like you're on like a mountain or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
That was one of the coolest
Colorado.
pictures I've ever seen. So like I mean, you'll be able to do that stuff. And you know what'll be really cool is when you could do that stuff with your kids.
Yeah, that's what we're excited for.
Yeah. That's
So to let you talk for a minute, because I feel like Steve and I have been.
I think we got a little too
Yeah.
excited about this.
So like, walk us through that a little bit though. Like you just said, like deciding to have a kid, right? Like,
Yeah. So right before we got married, I said I want to go to Alaska and Hawaii before I even want to get married. Think about kids. We did Alaska when we were dating for like 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Did Hawaii, and then we were married a year, and we're like, yeah, well, let's do this kid thing. I mean, what are we waiting for?
So did she have to convince you, or
No, she always wanted it, and then I told her I wanted to take a year just to see for us,
Yeah.
see what goes on, and then we got to the point she's like, I think I want to get off birth control. It's really fucking with my system, you know. I'm like, all right, well, get off birth control. Let's do this.
Okay.
That's awesome. So there wasn't
Cool,
like
though.
any type of argument. Like you
No,
knew that was
no.
what. So that's
No,
awesome, man.
because for some people there is. They're like, nope, not doing it. Not
Nope,
doing it.
never.
Not doing it. Not doing it. Oh, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think that's cool though. That like, you know, again, just to have the, I guess, honesty to say this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
If I can get that done, I think that's cool.
And you guys did a lot of awesome stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already got like visions in my mind, like getting a national park pass and bringing the kid to as many parks as we can before it's old enough to do it on its own.
Yeah, dude,
that's
and that's
sweet.
that kind of stuff's awesome, man. That's the fun shit. Like doing something off the wall like that. Like I like to do. Like I always said, like as a kid, like my dad used to take us everywhere, and we said it was like our little adventures and everything like that. I love to do that kind of stuff, man. That's like tomorrow. Liz works all day, so tomorrow we'll wake up, we'll go get breakfast, and then we'll go do something different. We'll go to a different park. We'll go do something off the wall. That kind of stuff, like you said, going to like getting a park pass. And the thing is, around us too, there's tons of places to go.
Oh yeah.
You just got to find them.
Dude, we got lost last night.
Yeah,
I
that's
tell
right. I
you
forgot.
about
Yeah,
that?
you told me last night.
So there's this park in Concord that we went on a hike and we had like we're selling our house, obviously, and so we're like, oh, we got to kill an hour. We had a showing, so we're like, oh, let's go hike around this park or whatever.
3 hours.
And yeah, we kept going and kept going. I'm like, no, this definitely loops around. Chelsea's like, I don't think it does. I'm like, it definitely loops around. Like, it's not that big of a park. And we ended up pretty fucking far.
You said you ended up by like Alpine Valley.
Yeah.
At one point, did you like pull out your phone, like look at a map?
I did once, and I was like, well, we're generally the right direction. But then I had Sloan on my shoulder.
Be aware. Here's a dad hack. Though, be aware of where you're going.
Honestly, though, there was a point where I was going to say, all right, let's stop and turn around. But then I was like,
let's see where this goes.
4 of us haven't done something like this in forever.
Yeah.
We've been so busy with work and trying to get the house ready and everything else. I was like, we're all having a really great time.
Yeah.
The kids are being good.
Hey, you know what? Those are the best.
It was so much fun.
Those are the best moments, though.
Like, honestly, I was really proud of my son, who can be a complainer sometimes.
I think that's pretty standard.
Right. And he was just like, Dad, that was so much fun. That was awesome. How far did we go? You know, this and that. And like, I'm telling him the stats and everything. And he's like, I've never walked that far in my life. Like, that was so cool.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude.
I think getting them into that kind of stuff is pretty awesome. Like, just those random things. Not
like,
getting away from doing the normal.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's stay home and do this. Like, well, especially now with the way things are going.
Right.
Getting them out of the house and doing, like you said, you want to go do the park thing. That's an awesome idea. I think getting them out and seeing different things, that's cool. That's awesome shit. Like, I think I recommend that 100%.
Yeah.
And like I said, we have the stuff around us. And like, if you want to travel, you'll be able to do that with a kid. I know the Ezzos, you know, Mike Ezzo.
Yeah.
That their daughter has gone to more places than any of us combined.
Really?
Just because he goes out of town for business all the time, and he goes everywhere.
A lot of places.
Yeah, you have been. You've been a lot of places too.
Yeah.
I have. Okay, not so much, but this girl's been
I've
everywhere.
been a lot of random places.
Yeah, he goes on business trips everywhere.
Oh, that's cool though.
So every time he goes on a business trip, he takes his daughter and his wife with him.
That's cool.
So
That's really cool.
So you should get the map. You know, people do that where they get the map.
We got a map.
Do you?
Yeah.
We're,
So you got a plan,
we're
man.
Like halfway through for us.
Start one for the
What,
kid.
for the States?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start one for the kid, man.
I wonder what whatever. So real quick, going back to the hike and everything that we did.
Oh, yeah.
Like Gibbs this morning, I was like, hey, what do you want? So tomorrow is his birthday. He's like, what do you want to do? He's like, well, Dad, maybe we can go on like a little hike. And I was like,
Yeah.
this is the kid that fucking won't give me the time of day because he wants to play his video game. You know? And
Already stuck
I
on the
was like,
games.
yeah, let's do it.
Hikes, man.
You should take him to Orchard Hills and then go to Patterson's for donuts.
So I love Patterson's for donuts. That's a pretty good idea because he does want to do that, and then we're gonna go. Actually, that would really make a lot of sense because then he wants to go. Chelsea's got a aunt that lives kind of by Patterson's.
Yeah.
That he wants to go over there to go swimming.
Perfect. There's a pretty
There
good
you
trail
go.
system there.
All right.
Yeah, that's good stuff to do.
Couple ponds.
Yeah.
Like our summers of
I want to go camping.
camping we want to do too.
So my kid got so Gibbs for his birthday. We did a family party last weekend, and he got a bunch of camping gear. He got his own little like tiny tent. He got a headlamp, and what else did he get?
E-tool.
No, E-tool would be good.
That's important.
What else did he get? He got a headlamp. Oh, and then like a lantern and a spool of 550 cord.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Perfect.
He's like, Dad,
Ooh,
I
we
should
should
go
go
camping.
We should go take him hiking at what's that place where they used to have like concerts and stuff?
Legends?
Nelson's
Yeah.
Ledges. That's some good hiking there.
Yeah,
For the older
absolutely.
boys at least.
Yeah.
The other two,
Dude, I'm
I see
telling
Ben
you.
like just falling off the side of a
park
cliff.
that we were at yesterday, when we knew we were really far, we came across a campsite, and there was a family.
What park was it?
I can't remember what it's called. I have to look it up.
Because I know there's a park out towards you that's like
So you're talking about
Okay.
Big Creek.
Big Creek. Maybe
Yeah,
that's what I
but
was
it's
thinking.
not part of Big Creek. I
Okay.
don't think. I can't. I'll look it up. But yeah, there was a family just like camping there, and it was really weird because like it was warm out yesterday. It was a little bit humid, and these people had this fucking monster fire going. And I was like, dude,
It's like 6 o'clock.
it was like 6 o'clock, literally.
You don't need a fire yet.
It's like, fire's a little premature.
Did you get a marshmallow?
No.
Yeah, Ian just shows up, sits next to him.
Sup?
So
You got any s'mores?
he's got more gas. We got to make this thing bigger. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, it's like, what is this? Let's go in the woods. Let's start making some torches or something.
Right.
So
No, but that was a lot of fun, and I know. So I really want to get Gibbs into that and do it. We got to do one with the
yes,
older boys.
some outdoor stuff. Outdoors for sure. Right now is the time because we're stuck in the we're stuck inside. We've been stuck inside.
I know, right?
So I think we need to move on to a dad hack.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know if you have one of those.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, I think we could give him something. I could just do my standard dad hack with your baby's gonna be pretty. They're not gonna move too. He's not gonna move too much at first, but when he gets of age and he starts rolling around during changing, I think. So what works for me? This is what I think Ian's probably used this before.
I have.
So with the pants, because when they start flipping around, they're crazy, they're kicking, and you're trying to get their pajamas on or whatever outfit. As I would take a pant leg and rolled all the way up to the top. The first pant leg rolled all the way up to the top of their thigh. That way they're not kicking off that pant leg. Because I'm telling you, if you put them on,
Genius.
kick it off. Put it on, kick it off. So if you get that first one on,
Try and do two at once. Good luck.
yeah, good luck. This way, it's money, man. Put that first one on all the way, and then you get that one leg's done. Put the next one on, you're good to go.
Yeah.
So
Get him
like
used to it early.
I like it.
yeah. So
100%.
do that. Like, I mean, that's like I said. At first, they're not going to be moving too much. It'll be easy. It's just boom, boom. Put them in their onesie or what have you, and you're good to go. So that's just something that I've said 1,000 times on the show, but that's just I think
It's a
that's
good
like
one, though.
been my favorite, and it worked like a charm.
I like it.
Really good. Another one for when they're young. So when Gibbs would, so I found out pretty quickly that Gibbs liked to see what was going on.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like I used to like carry him around like head onto my shoulder and stuff like that, and he just wouldn't calm down. So I flipped him around, and I'd like put my arm over top and like grab under his butt, and so he'd be facing out, and then
Or do the football move.
or do the football move. But what I used to do is I used to hold him like this so he's like facing out, and then we used to go count the windows in my house.
Huh?
And by the time I got done counting the windows, and we would look for something, whether it was a street light or a star or a car going by or whatever, I could just like see his reflection, and it would like take his mind off things, and he would stop crying.
Wow.
Yeah, let him see. Like I think the way to say it is like let him see the world. Like let him see what you're
yeah.
seeing. It's like your view is their view. So you're looking out a window or looking at whatever you're looking at.
And it makes so much sense too. Like if you're pissed off, like I don't want to just bury my head in something and just not.
No,
like
let them see it. It's and this
my
goes
mind
back to
off
what we
it.
usually say, like a distraction,
yeah,
misdirection. Like just let them focus on something else besides what they're pissed off about.
Right.
So that's a huge one. Then it works like a charm.
Okay.
So master the hold, and it's comfortable too. I mean, just hold them like, or put a hand under the butt.
Yeah.
And then one on their chest and just carry them around like that.
I'm dying for those chest rigs though.
you can
You get one of those. So Teddy was a puppy when we got ours, and I think he ate one of the clips.
Oh.
So we never really we did use it. Liz would use it like when she was like when I was at work and she'd have to vacuum or something. She would just rig it up and just tie it. But so yeah, get one of those for sure. What is that? Well, they have the
There's a
Bjorn
lot
thing.
of
They have a
them
different
now.
bunch of different ones. But the one that like faces them out, that's
Yeah.
a solid one.
We had one, and I can't remember the brand, but it was great. Like I used to walk around with them all the time.
I have so much stuff that you could use.
We just gave them a bunch of shit.
Oh yeah.
So we'll talk. We'll talk
What
about
was
it.
that frog thing called?
Frog chair.
Oh, the frog chair.
His kids love.
Oh, did you
the
give you-
frog
did you give
chair.
him
Yeah,
that?
I gave him a frog chair.
Thing's
yeah.
solid, man. The Brunos had ours for a couple
Oh
months.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So and the thing is, it's amazing. That's one of the best things you could have.
Yeah. 100%.
So we could go all night on things that you could use and all that, but I think we covered a lot of stuff. I think we gave a lot of advice. I think Ian and I talked way more than we needed to, and I
Way more
apologize
than
for
we
that.
usually
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So I apologize for that. But
Just
no,
put everything in a PDF file for me.
absolutely, we got that for you, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very good.
I got an idea, Nick. Listen to the podcast when it comes out.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Oh yeah.
You know how to do that?
I do.
All right,
cool.
good. So thank you.
What else do you got?
Yeah,
Do you have
is there anything
anything
that you want to
else
ask
that-
us before we shut down?
No, I think we're good.
You think we covered it for
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, you're a
So
pro.
I got this.
You got it, man. You do.
You do.
And it's going to be awesome. I'm really happy for you guys. And obviously, if you have any questions,
Oh,
we're
wait.
always around.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Name?
Oh yeah, what's it?
You know what you're gonna do?
Wait a
Oh,
second.
Can't
boy.
say.
Oh, my
You don't
phone's
have
my
to
phone
say.
is over there. Hold
We-
on.
You don't have to say, but
Let me see if I
just
can
make it
find-
very,
We
very
want
clear
some
what-
crazy names.
Oh yeah,
It's
How
not gonna be
about
like
crazier
a
than Gibson.
Bill
What
or
about-
Frank.
So she said,
Oh, did
Please
she say-
convince him not to name our kid Bear or Wolf.
We got woods too in the mix.
Woods?
Like a type of wood, like poplar.
Yeah, just woods.
Oh, just woods. Okay.
Well, that's a good boy name. River's in the mix.
Ooh.
I have a cousin, or my wife's cousin's kid is named River.
All outdoorsy names.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Forest.
Forest. There you go.
Like
Tree
Forrest
stand.
Gump?
Yeah, because people won't know Forrest Gump by that time.
That's probably true.
It's a pretty solid
And
movie.
even
But
if they did,
He's
Forrest
a
Gump's
pretty badass
awesome.
dude. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got all kinds of crazy names. Bear.
Something- I like Bear. I mean, I like them all.
she said no bear.
We're getting Bear.
Bear Fatica sounds pretty good, though.
She's like, it's going to call him Bear. I'm like,
Denver.
that's a manly name.
Here's the thing.
Alaska.
When you have to name a kid, you don't realize how many people you hate until you have to name a kid. Because you're like, oh, what about this name? You're like, no, remember that douchebag in 9th grade?
Well, here's the thing is you knew a lot of people in high school because we went to Menor High.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's
Never known a Bear or a Woods.
no. We knew a couple Denvers.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any other off the wall names.
But
that
like, especially like with the daycares and stuff, like, I'm like, no, I remember that.
that kid was a hellion.
Yeah.
Oh
Not
God,
doing that.
not doing it. Yeah, names were tough. We definitely came up with names, and then like after, actually with Sam, I think it was like when we saw him, we're like, he's Sam, or like
That's how Sloan was.
Ben. We didn't even come up with Ben's. We didn't even decide on Ben until because with Ben they took him away from us shortly after he was born. But we were actually went back to our room. We were still undecided.
Like, shit, what do
Yeah,
they
with
call
Sloan,
this
you
thing?
guys were too. Because I remember I showed up the night Sloan was born at like midnight.
You met Sloan before any of our family.
Yeah, I was there like because I remember I was in the backyard.
She was born at 9:07, and you were there before midnight.
Because I remember I texted Ian. I'm like, yeah, I'm just in the backyard digging because I was digging up
Yeah,
for the
you were.
patio. So I was
Yeah.
working in the backyard all night, and I'm like just getting updates from Ian, and I'm like, so give me the heads up when I can come up there. He's like, come now. I'm like, all right. Took a shower and just zipped right up there.
Yeah.
And I remember though, you guys were like, we don't know. Like, what do you think? And I'm like, I think Sloan's pretty cool. Like, that's a
Yeah.
cool name.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's funny though. Like, you really can't really decide sometimes until they're born.
It's crazy.
Because like you look at him, you're like, that doesn't look like this or this. He's whatever. You
I
know,
feel like if we came up with the perfect name right now, we would hate it in 3
Yep,
months.
you
You know?
would.
that's another thing
Yep,
too. Because we
100%.
did for sure. I even had a necklace made for Liz because I thought that it was what his name was going to be.
I
And I'm like,
remember
and
that.
I'm like,
What was-
Brody was one of the
Brody,
names.
yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, no, that's such a bro name.
bro.
Chad,
It is a
man.
pretty
It's-
bro
it's-
name.
his name's Bro.
Chad Bro Chill.
Oh, dude, Chad.
So Chad's not even real?
So Chad's not even coming.
There's no one coming.
I don't know, Chad. Probably because I crushed Total Puss. That's one of the best lines of all time. Chad. Don't do Chad. We knew a Chad growing up.
Brainiacs.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, like a
no,
can and a half.
It'll be a wild name. It'll be
All right, cool.
Maybe Wild.
Wild. Ooh,
like
Wild Steve Fatica.
Wild Stevie and
But then,
Fatica.
like, if it's gonna be
Stevia.
like,
Stevia.
if
It's the
it's
sugar.
first name's Wild, we need a middle name starts with a T. That way, the initials are WTF.
Oh.
Or like,
Wild Tika Fatica.
yes.
Wild Tika Fatica. This is gold. Gold. Oh, God. All right. Well,
Very cool.
Some good
I
names
think
for you.
That's great, though.
Yeah.
That's a
that
lot
was
of fun.
awesome, man.
Enjoy the process, dude.
Yeah,
That's-
like we said before, like just leading up to it, it's crazy. Hey, you know what? Talk, sing, even when she's in her stomach, like just
do it.
work on that. Hey, you know what? Like I sang to both my kids. My voice is awful.
Oh, yeah.
Like when I'm
No, not like, oh, yeah, your voice.
no,
is
he
awful.
does.
Like,
He
but
that's
I
what he
do
meant
that too.
No, but like work on the sing. Sing. Just do everything, man. Do it. You're not gonna be yourself, like what you think you are. You're gonna
I had a dance party today with my daughter because she dumped.
How'd you dance?
I mean, I was just
guys do the potty dance.
Yeah, we did the potty dance.
Potty dance, man.
I was like, woo woo.
Gotta encourage it, man. Celebrate small accomplishments.
Just took a dump on the potty, man. It was great.
That's big. That's
That's
it's
good.
big. So
It's huge.
It's very good.
So yeah, so going forward though, if you have any questions, obviously we're here for you.
Awesome. I appreciate the opportunity to be on here.
Dude, so awesome that you came on.
It's awesome. I was nervous. I was I didn't know what to think of this.
Everybody is.
Well, luckily, like Steve and I really talked the whole time, so you didn't
You guys have done this a couple times.
Yeah, but we get excited about like
we do get super
we
excited
get pumped
about this
because this is like what we started this with. It's like, hey, somebody who's doesn't know what to expect, and then we could try to guide them through that. Because like we always say, we're still his kid's gonna be 5, my kid's 4, and 2 and 2. But it's like we're still pretty new at the same time. But we do, when it comes to someone that doesn't know anything about like or what to expect, we feel like we could help out with
that.
Like
it wasn't that long ago for us that we were like, we can still remember it and help a dude out.
And
you know
it's
what I mean?
and it's fun to it's a lot of fun to go back to it and try to remember everything. So, and it's advice that if I ever had another kid that I would have to remember to take my own advice.
Right.
So, but yeah, thank you again for coming on, and thanks for sitting here and listening to us talk the whole time.
Hey, no problem. Yeah, it was great.
But it was fun, man.
Got a lot out of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, that's what it's all about.
Cool, man. Anything you want to plug? Anything you want to?
No.
Outside? Okay.
Good.
Cool.
Good. Good.
Sweet. So make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter.
All your favorite podcasts. Whatever you listen to your podcast on, follow us on that.
Check out the website, www.thetalkingdads.com. And Steve, Nick, happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day,
Father's
everybody.
Day.
Like a day. So, happy. I mean, this is going to come out after
that,
Father's
but
Day,
still.
But that's
Hey, happy Father's Day.
Like, we're right here. So,
Great.
no, thanks so much for coming on. It's been a blast.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It was a good time.
Absolutely.
It would be. So, in the meantime,
raise good humans. Thank you.
Peace.
Catch you next time. Hey guys, if you love what you just heard or watched, and we know you did, do us a solid and hit that thumbs up. Share with your friends and throw us a comment, literally about anything. Your support legit keeps us going. Oh, and don't forget to give us that 5-star rating. We really appreciate you.